right, welcome on in to another episode of the DCU Daily and Also Curious. Well, it's another day and another set of posters, and we have got quite a few of them to talk about today. So, yeah, that's where we're gonna pick things up. We have Superman posters. We have a new Runtime potentially. It's not officially confirmed, but it's the closest thing to it so far. So we'll talk about that for Superman. Rachel Brosnahan did a huge magazine cover shoot, as well as a big interview about playing Lois Lane and the struggles of shooting a movie where you're acting against CGI things that are not there on set. So we'll talk about that. We'll get into Fantastic Four because we now, of course, have some new posters coming out because today the tickets went on sale, and it looks like we've got an actual official first look, not at a toy, but the actual Franklin Richards, like the baby Franklin Richards. So yeah, we gotta talk about that. We already got Fiona in the chat. Hello, Fiona, and Monique is here as well. How are you all doing? Well, it's gonna be a packed show, so as always, we're gonna hit that news intro and get things started.
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always the number two.
All right, mister, I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding.
You're
kidding. I can't open the envelope without the...
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I like that. You're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see chords.
Right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Well, and you know what? I actually forgot to mention. There's a lot of news today. I forgot to mention that we have the Ballerina coverage today as well. Yesterday, they held I think there were screenings for the movie, and people got to see it a little bit early. And we have reviews out. Their embargo is finally down, so we have reviews for Ballerina to get into, a Rotten Tomatoes score to talk about, as well as a preview of the weekend box office. And beyond that, of course, we have the quick hits. We've got a date, a release date, and some first look images at the newest season of Slow Horses on Apple TV Plus, which is one of my favorite shows on Apple TV Plus. I can't wait for it, and I'm so excited to talk about it on today's show. We also have a new AI drama that Luca Guadagnino is working on, since of course he doesn't have enough movies on his plate already. And Cillian Murphy, how is he going to figure into the 28 Years Later franchise? We do have a bit of an answer around that from the director Danny Boyle, so we'll get into that, as well as of course all the DC and Marvel stuff. So to do that and so much more, with me today, as always, I've got John. How are you doing today?
Still slanted, even though I try my best to not be slanted. There we go. But I think it's not the best day ever. I was doing okay, and then I got bad news, and then now I'm just kind of meh. But I'm getting through it. But we'll see. But I'm here, and that's something, I guess. So yeah.
Well, I hope your bad news isn't all that bad, and we hope that there's good news on the way right behind it. So, well, we're going to start things off by talking about some Marvel stuff. So, of course, I mentioned earlier the tickets for Fantastic Four, the Fantastic Four First Steps, they're on sale now. So if you guys want to go see the movie on opening weekend and you don't want to miss out, right now is the time for you guys to go get your tickets. But as part of that, of course, they're doing a lot of promotional work. So including, of course, putting up new posters. We got a brand new poster from, of course, Pedro Pascal himself putting this up. I don't know if this is an IMAX poster or if this is just another poster, but this came directly from Pedro Pascal's account, I believe. So there you go, John. What are your thoughts on this one? Again, showing all the classic powers. I like the look of the characters. Again, you're seeing a little bit of the Invisible Woman hand there on the side for Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm. What are your thoughts on this new poster?
The fire looks extremely fake. It looks faker than Hunger Games fire, and that's saying something.
We also have, by the way, more Katna in the chat. Welcome on in. Of course, Fiona's already here. She's cheering you on. She's cheering you on, as well as Monique.
Yeah. No,
You
I
know,
mean, like I
and
was talking with some friends before, so that was a little bit better. But yeah, just a little sad. So if I don't sound the best, I apologize. But that's just how it'd be.
it's all good. It's all good. I mean, I myself actually, I started to like have an energy drain right before the show started. So, but you know what? Like as soon as we go live, it's like this live television. So like the energy just picks up. Morkatna already talking about the engineers poster. We're gonna get into that later. I'll save that comment, Morkatna. But we also have Right Dude dropping in saying, "What's up, fellas? Just got home from seeing Ballerina. Awesome movie. All right, okay. Well, you know what, Right Dude? Right after this, well, right after we talk about Fantastic Four, we're talking about Ballerina. So be sure to stick around, and we'd love to get your take on the movie when we get into it. Maybe save the spoilers for now, because I bet you a lot of other people here haven't seen the movie yet. But we will definitely get into that in a few minutes. But John, of course, this is one of the posters. This is not the only poster we're going to get into today, but they also put up some new footage. They had a bit of a sneak peek, and so you get a look at the Fantastic Car with the thing in the driver's seat, and it looks like they're not all that happy with each other. I mean, the thing looks a little sad.
The Mr. Fantastic looks like Diego Luna for some reason.
A
So
little
like,
bit, if you squint, yeah, I guess. But I mean, like, what do you think this is from part like the Dark Night of the Soul moment of the movie where something has gone incredibly wrong? Like clearly, Pedro Pascal's character, right, Mr. Fantastic, he doesn't look very happy. Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm kind of looks like she's just like hanging on for the ride wherever they're going, and not Mr. but like the Thing, Ben Grimm, he almost like has a tear in his eye, if you could almost tell. I mean, I care to speculate what might be happening here, and clearly we're missing a character. Do you think this is that moment where Johnny Storm goes off on his own to do his own thing, and then the rest of the
I
team
mean,
kind of
it
pull
was
him back?
shown in the trailer that was accompanying the now on sale thing. So it's kind of just them going after, I think, Silver Surfer. I think that's the context of this scene, unless
Yeah.
this is totally different from what was shown in the trailer. But I think that's what, like, Johnny goes off on his
Yeah.
own, and he's flying because he can fly. Nobody else can fly, so they use the Fantastic Car. And yeah, so I think it's definitely it's a movie, certainly a movie.
We have Hunter Iggy in the chat, by the way. We'll get into your comment, Hunter, in a little bit. Yeah. By the way, so far the footage that they've shown, I'm starting to get more and more on board this movie personally. I don't know about you, John, but speaking of posters, we have a Dolby Cinema poster. So again, more of character portraits, both in and out of costume. You have their ship. Welcome to the family, July 25th, only in theaters. What do you think about this poster? We always talk about how these specialty posters tend to be better than maybe even like
Yeah.
the main poster.
I
And you
don't
can
know
kind of see
why,
Mr. Fantastic's powers here too.
I think Vanessa Kirby's face looks a little bit off, but outside of that, it looks really good. Like I
Yeah.
like the vibe from this. This definitely feels
It definitely
more.
looks like very like old school painted like vibes, like
Yeah,
maybe
no,
Star
it just
Wars posters.
she
Yeah.
just looks a little slightly bit off, and just like I'm just gonna
Face
say,
Black Man.
like, with Mr. Fantastic, can Pedro Pascal fucking shave at any point for any of his roles? Like, it's just like I look at this image, I'm like, oh, that's human Ben Grimm. All right, that's Sue Storm. That's Human Torch. That's Pedro Pascal. Like, I don't see, like, when I look at him, I don't see Mr. Fantastic. I just see, oh, that's just Pedro Pascal. Like, if you put that on like the Last of Us poster, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Or if you put that on like the Game of Thrones poster, oh okay, yeah, that makes sense. But it's just like, it's just like Mr. Fantastic should not be like unshaven. Like, he needs to have, like, I know in the comics he has had like a beard, but he either needs to like be full beard or clean cut. None of this weird in between that Pedro Pascal likes to do that makes him like think that like he looks cool or something. Like, I don't like the shagginess where it's like kind of sort of a beard but not really. Like, it just doesn't work, and it doesn't work for Mr. Fantastic, and it doesn't work for the 60s angle because that wasn't really a thing in the 60s. Like, that wasn't like a a style back then. It was like clean cut. Maybe you had a mustache, but it was mainly for the most part guys that were very clean shaven. Maybe that's just me being a stickler. I don't know, but it's like you're going for this whole vibe, and it's just like, oh, but then this guy kind of sticks out like a sore thumb a little bit. So
I mean,
yeah.
look, I personally don't mind. Again, it depends on the version of the character we're gonna get. I understand your concerns. It's definitely off type from what we would have expected. That's been the case.
I agree with that. Like he needs like here's the thing about Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic's a fucking asshole. Like he's a horrible person. Like
he could still be smug, right?
Like that's the whole thing with Mr. Fantastic is like the only thing he cares about is the pursuit of science. Like that's literally the only thing he cares, and he will like kill millions.
That's why I'll be honest. That's why I thought Miles Teller was perfect casting for the role when they did that, because I was like, he can play that character, right? We never got that far with that version. I don't think. But John, Steven asking, did you get your tickets? I haven't gotten mine yet.
I haven't had a chance to, but because the thing is, I don't know who I'm going, because like Superman, I have like I could go with friends, I can go with family. I'm seeing that movie multiple times. Like I'm gonna see it for an early access whenever that's coming out. I might see with my friend, I might see with my family, and we got to see about like scheduling and stuff like that. Fantastic Four. I don't think my family's really interested. I mean, I have friends that might be interested, but like I don't know. I might like just get it for myself, and then it's like, oh, I wanted to see it. Well, it's like, well, tickets are gonna go on sale, and this thing's gonna fucking go sold out really quickly. So I don't know.
I mean, look, Monique, I think Pedro Pascal certainly has the look that Hollywood is looking for. He's there. I think I had this link somewhere, and I haven't brought it on the show yet. But he's about to have one hell of a run. Just think about it. Just look at the amount of projects he's got coming out. Between now and let's say by the time we get to Secret Wars, which he'll be in that movie as Mr. Fantastic, you have The Materialist, you have Fantastic Four, you have Mandalorian and the Grogu, you have Avengers Doomsday, and then you have Avengers Secret Wars, and then I'm sure there's probably 2 other movies in there somewhere that we don't even know about yet. But Pedro Pascal is literally anywhere and everywhere doing all the big movie franchises. The man is having a time of his life, and to be quite frank, like, go for it, man. Like, this is your moment, because there was a time, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a fair comparison to David Harbour, how David Harbour was a character actor and then like blew up, because I think Pedro Pascal is sort of like the next level up even from where David Harbour has gone to so far. But in a similar track where you go back and you watch, I think, what was it, like was it the first or the second Equalizer? He was the villain of that movie.
Even further back, I think the Golden Circle. Remember?
Yeah, Golden Circle. I mean, but like you look at those roles, and Pedro Pascal was clearly just playing a character. He was just a character actor playing, a villain of the week, or just another character. Like a forgettable, supporting character in movies and TV shows. Like he went from that. I mean, he's in his 50s, so like you could tell like he's a bit of a late bloomer, but that's totally fine. But he went from that to being now one of the most sought after and desired actors in all of Hollywood. I mean,
maybe a little
Wonder
bit
Woman
too
1984.
Much too.
I understand that, I do, but like honestly, I'm like, this guy, like, he's in demand. Like I know some people, he may not be like your cup of tea, but from a career perspective, I mean, go get it. Go get it. The thing is, hot,
like, I think what really pushed him into like the whole thing was obviously Game of Thrones was the big thing, but honestly, ironically, the first thing I ever saw him in without realizing it was The Adjustment Bureau. Apparently, he was in that with Matt Damon and Emily Blunt.
I totally don't remember that.
I'm just
gonna
looking
watch
at his
that movie back and be
filmography
like,
right
"What? Pedro Pascal's in this?" I had no idea.
He was a maitre d'. Like,
I do not remember that, and I feel like that's one of my more. I put that movie, The Adjustment Bureau, in my top 10 underrated sci-fi movies, and I had no clue until you just mentioned that he was in that movie. Like, I have no recollection of him in that movie. That is crazy. Enterprising, I actually saw one of the early releases of Man of Steel when that came out, so I know I'm probably gonna go see Superman at least once or twice. And then Fiona, since you're here in the chat, let me know, when are we gonna go see Fantastic Four? Should we get those tickets? The right dude's saying he was in The Kingsman, The Golden Circle, right? But I mean, it's he was in smaller roles. I mean, and now he's having his moment. I mean, like, it's
because like it was like pretty much
let him have it,
a triple threat of like he was in Golden Circle, Equalizer 2, and Wonder Woman 1984. Those were like the big things that we saw him in, and that's, I feel like, kind of helped launch his career like majorly.
I feel that's like you and John go. Well, we'll see, John. Maybe you and I can get
Maybe
we'll have to
even
figure it out.
by the Human Torch.
We have all been burned by Fantastic Four movies in the past, dude. Like that's the whole point. Like they all have sucked. This one, hopefully, we'll finally get it right. But yeah, it's a big maybe still for Enterprising, which is just fair. But you know, he's still rooting for it, which is also fair. The materialist looks nice, actually. I forgot to include it in today's show, but I promise we'll get into it later this week. We have some first reactions from that movie, and it's looking really good. So we will definitely get into that later in the week. And that's coming out, I think, before Fantastic Four. But you know, let's keep the ball rolling here. We have a few other things to talk about with Fantastic Four. You know how they did that public screening last week? Well, you know, there were rumors, oh, it was meh, it was mid, like people weren't necessarily the most impressed. But then there was one person there who actually, like, you know, was like, hey, I was literally, you know, in this theater, and and so they gave a bit of an interview, and then, you know, that has some quotes out in the wild now on the internet. And one of the things they said was that the film was described as fast-paced but not a mess. It received the highest rating, and the word excellent was being thrown around. And this is from when there was an employee from Marvel going around, you know, the movie theater after the movie played to ask the audience for their reactions, basically trying to figure out, like, you know, what did they think about the movie. And we know that they didn't show a finished cut of the film. There were some rough edges. The VFX wasn't all complete. And then, you know, the end the post-credits scene, I'm pretty sure is meant to be like a throwaway red herring, because I doubt we're gonna get Doctor Doom. But they do show Doctor Doom with, you know, Franklin Richards, maybe to kidnap him. Who knows? I mean, they leave it pretty open-ended. So, but yeah, I mean, hey, Swag fan, I agree with you. You gotta ride your success till the wheels fall off. Let Pedro live. Exactly, man. Exactly. But it is good news that, you know, according to the test audiences, like, and one person who was in the theater, the movie's not a mess. It got a really good rating. I mean, hey, like Fiona was saying, being burned by the movies before.
Hey, it's not. I understand, like, they say it's excellent, but they also say it's not a mess. Like, that's not exactly. That itself is not high praise, but like, obviously,
no. But I think
part is.
That part is addressing the idea that other people, like, had been spreading false rumors that the whole thing is a mess, it's terrible, and it's meh, and it's mid. Now, of course, there's a lot. I'm guessing there were a few dozen people in that theater. Some people might have not liked it. Some people did think that maybe it was mid or meh. But it looks like, according to this person, what they overheard and what they thought about it, it was not a mess. It was, in fact, excellent. So, I mean, hey, we'll find out soon enough, right? And like Fiona is a perfect example. We have all been burned by these movies in the past, but quite frankly, I mean, the more I listen to the soundtrack for this, like, it's starting to get stuck in my head. I think Michael Giacchino did a great job here, and I can't wait to see.
I mean, he was really the only choice.
Yeah.
For that, because I mean, he did The Incredibles, so it only makes sense that he would do.
Yes.
The real Fantastic Four, you know.
And he's not doing the Batman Part 2 anytime soon, so he's got plenty of time on his hands. He's also was it him who directed, like, one of the Disney
Werewolf by Night?
Yeah, he directed that special. So, and he's talked about potentially doing a sequel to that. So, yeah. Enterprising saying Superman and F4 has had it relatively rough in the cinema. Both of them could use some good fortune. It's overdue. Absolutely. I mean, and that's the whole thing. That's the theme of July, is, can these two franchises that have historically had an up and down, you know, track record, can they blow audiences away in their own right? So we'll have to see. But as the headline says here, we finally have our first look at Franklin Richards, and we're not just talking about, like, you know, the toys and the action figures. They actually gave us a look at the kid. Now, obviously, we're like, oh no, that's not any recognizable actor. It's a baby. But the fact that they've shown this now, I think this confirms the fact that we're gonna get to see Franklin Richards, you know, bouncing around and literally being a part of the movie. And I'm gonna pull up a high resolution version of this picture. John, what do you think about this? Again, when the marketing for this movie started, we were thinking maybe he's born by the end of the movie. And then we started thinking, oh, maybe he's there a little bit sooner, or maybe they just hint. I mean, maybe he's not born at all. Now we know he's gonna be in the film, and I feel like they wouldn't give this away unless this was probably like it's somewhere in the early half of the film, and then the baby's there the rest of the
I'm
way.
willing to bet. Yes, there's a lot of blue, but
Yeah.
this is Franklin Richards. He's one of the most important characters in the Marvel universe. He is a reality warping mutant. He's one of the most powerful mutants in the Marvel universe, next to Iceman and Jean Grey, all very powerful mutants. So yeah, he's like reality, like think like Scarlet Witch, but like 100-fold.
Yeah.
Like in terms of reality warping.
He's gonna be
Scarlet
like
Witch
the
with the
most powerful
dark
character
hold.
in the MCU.
Even more
probably,
like
yeah.
imagine like Legion or
Mhm.
like something like that, like who is also one of the most powerful mutants in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
So he's
Hope we get
extremely
Legion.
powerful. So
Bring
I'm
back
willing
Dan
to bet,
Stevens.
like I got my wires crossed when we were talking about it yesterday. I thought that like the scene they were talking about was like the end of the movie where they like transfer to the main Marvel universe, which is but no, it was just them having the baby. So I'm willing to bet that the scene that was released of like, oh hey, you're late for dinner, that
Mhm.
probably happens in like the first act.
Oh, I bet.
Of the
Yeah,
movie.
I guarantee
Like that's
you
probably
gonna be
like
early in the movie.
that there's probably
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that's probably like a montage of like, this is the Fantastic Four, this is where they
Mhm.
are now, and then it cuts to that scene. Like it cuts to the dinner. So okay, let's go. All right, that you know, The Bear season 5. But yeah, something like that, and then it gets to that scene, and then it's revealed, and then this probably happens. I want to say sometime in Act 2,
Mhm.
and then early Act 2.
Because I mean, you know what? It completely raises the stakes, right? All of a sudden, the baby's in the fold. They already have enough on their plates. They're a superhero team that are basically the celebrities of the world over in their universe. They also, you know, are scientists, and you know, on top of that, now they have to worry about taking care of a baby, and it, you know, it takes a village, as they say. So I can only imagine how that's going to figure into everything else. And you guys are suggesting that, yeah, maybe the popular theory is John Malkovich is playing the older version of Franklin Richards, because we know in some of the footage shown at CCXP this past weekend, they kind of just fly in their ship into a black hole, and we are thinking, oh, maybe that's how they end up in Marvel 616, aka, you know, the main
it's
the
not
sacred
616. It's 199
What, dude?
9999.
It doesn't. Kevin Feige says a 616. I'm gonna go off of
Yeah,
what
well, Kevin
Feige
Feige's an
says.
idiot because the comic book universe is 616.
Except he's also the man in charge. So like, I mean,
He's not the man in charge. He didn't invent Marvel Comics. Okay, so I'm just
yeah,
saying,
but
Marvel
the
Comics
MCU,
is 616.
but the MCU is separate from the comics. Like, I don't think they cross over. So, but
the
anyway,
continuity is all
that's-
the same.
it's not the
It's
same.
all the same.
It's not the
It's all
same.
the same.
Kevin Feige has said otherwise. But anyway, but I mean, nonetheless, I mean, hey, whether he's Galactus, or I think it's less. I don't think he's gonna ultimately be Galactus. That would be too much of a twist. I don't think John Malkovich is playing an older version of Franklin Richards. It would be interesting to see though how he figures in the movie. And I'm guessing that when they go into the black hole, they go into whatever future dimension or other alternate reality where John Malkovich exists. Maybe that's how they get him in the movie. But it doesn't look like that black hole sequence is what leads them into, you know, the main MCU timeline. So I don't want to choose to live with daddy or mommy. Stop fighting. Okay. We'll stop fighting over that. His neck, that seems a bit extreme. That's hard. It's not as believable, but the true Marvel Jesus. Yeah, that is Kevin Feige actually, because he's the man in charge. But anyway,
No.
Moving on from the Franklin Richards situation, which I'm sure we'll be touching upon more so in the coming weeks. They did put out official promotions now for the popcorn buckets. I'm surprised we didn't get this yesterday when Liz was on the show, but here we are. We've got the Galactus head. We've got a Herbie. So like whether you go to an AMC or Regal, you'll get different options. The first thing I wanted to do was just show off the one that they announced for AMC, which is, you know, the big Galactus head. and he's big. Like they give you dimensions, John. You look this over. You're a connoisseur of popcorn buckets, or popcorn vessels as they call them. Look at this thing. It's 20 inches wide, 17 inches tall.
I want it, but it's only available at Cinemark. So
damn, you know what? I have a Cinemark membership. I can probably go get it from there.
There's one. Get 3. I'll pay you back.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm curious because I imagine AMC is probably gonna get like a shitty one or something.
Well, let's see. Let's take a look. So in this article, they did show off all of them. So it looks like is that the one? That's the one for AMC, dude.
Oh,
AMC's
okay. Because I saw
Yeah.
it was Cinemark that the Galactus head was Cinemark. It's entirely possible that there's multiple.
I mean, they might have something I mean, they might have it in both places. This is certainly a lot more impressive than the limo that just looked so cheap. Though it looked great in the ads, but when you went to the movie theater, the limo for the Thunderbolts movie was
I honestly
so disappointing.
really
It looked like it was made out of cardboard, and it just did not look good. They're eating my brains. That's probably what Galactus is saying. If his brain is made of popcorn. This one, John, is I think the better one.
Honestly,
because
I want to get this for my friend who hates Herbie. So like, you know.
Because I'm like, where is the popcorn? Is it like you pull the head off? Like, is that where it is?
Well, clearly the panel in the front is something. Honestly,
yeah,
I want to get all of these, and I'm not even that excited for the fucking movie.
So, but this includes a large popcorn. So you get this. It includes a large popcorn, a large drink, and candy.
I don't drink at the movies, so like.
And apparently, this thing will hold all 3 of them. So
it's like from Drake and Josh, where Megan creates the all-in-one popcorn bucket,
dude,
where it has the drink on the bottom, the candy on the sides, and then the popcorn on top.
I would love that. I would love that. Oh, Ron is here. Hello, Ron. Saying saying what did Herbie do? I don't know what Herbie did.
I don't know. My friend
Ron
just
loves
hates Herbie. I don't know why.
Yeah. Bane will break you is here. Hello to the chat. Gotham's Reckoning is in the chat. I'll draw a mustache on that Galactus bucket and call him Senator Galactus or Senor Galactus. Wow, I'm in my Star Wars mode, Senator Galactus. Could it be the blue square? Ooh, no. I'm not gonna go down that. But you know what? There's also the cheaper stuff. Like if you just want a popcorn 10, you'll get to collect some.
Honestly, I like those too.
So those are nice. I mean, hey, if you don't want to, I mean, I bet you these other ones are probably going to be like $30 odd, right? So if you don't want to splash the cash, especially the
I'm getting both. If I can get both, I'm getting both.
This might be a little bit on the cheaper side. So, yeah, hating Herbie would be like hating Wally. I don't understand the hate. That's, but hey, John's friends have their own taste. Jose is like, we don't do cool shit like these buckets here in New Zealand. Sucks balls. No Diddy. Yeah. Well. Go Team AMC though. I mean, hey, let's see. Do they have anything else? Oh yeah, look. So you got a soda vessel. Okay.
It's a shame because I would want to get this. I would want to get this, but I don't drink at the movies. So like, I'll definitely get the Galactus popcorn burger, but I want Herbie. I want I want everything.
Stuffing popcorn in your face. Don't you have?
Can you give me a bonus, Dan, so I can get all this?
Sure. We'll discuss it off camera. But yeah, let's do that. How about it? We'll make that business expensive.
I'm kidding. Calm down.
Expensive summer. I'm saying Canada doesn't do them either. I have to buy them online. Really? Okay. Well, that's disappointing. That's disappointing. Well, hey, Regal has got their Fantastic Car.
They got
bucket.
The Fantastic Car, which
see
looks
now
good.
This.
Hopefully, it's
like,
not made of cardboard like the other one.
Yes, because I'm like worried because I'm like this looks like something where they could cheap out on us and do what they did with the limo. As long as they don't do that, as long as the thing is actually shiny and actually worth keeping around and maybe made of aluminum or whatever.
Hell yeah, Caleb.
No, dude. Get
Grogu.
No,
Grogu can eat my ass.
Get the fuck out of here. No, Grogu is cool as fuck. I'm still
no, he's not. He's a little bitch. I would punt the fucker across a football field.
Okay. Good for you. And then you'll get pummeled by everybody else on the football field. So
yeah, and then I'll bring a machine gun and kill everybody. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, see, Jose, some people just want to watch the world burn. That's exactly what's going on right now. Yeah, Ron, unfortunately, we do things a little backwards in the US. Yeah, anyway. Moving on to the next thing. Cinemark. Oh, we talked about this. Okay, so Cinemark has everything. They've got the double wall cups if you want to keep your soda cold. They got the souvenir cup. the popcorn tin, the Mr. Fantastic bucket, which looks nice, and then the Galactus popcorn bucket. That thing is huge. I don't know if that's
I mean,
like an
it's still
extra
not
large
as
or whatever.
impractical as the
Mhm.
War Rim fucking popcorn bucket, which is like a fucking hammer.
Mm-hmm.
That
I know,
was
Ron, the Grogu eyes.
yeah.
Sorry,
What about
you-
them? They're black windows into the soul. They're creepy. It's like a Funko Pop, not in a good way.
Yeah.
Well, Funko Pops aren't good, so.
By the way, for whatever it's worth, Jose, I personally don't like Sprite Zero or Coke Zero. I just want the real thing. But Enterprising likes the Fantastic Car version. So Kevin is here. Kevin asking a question, always interested in box office talk. Do you think How to Train Your Dragon live action will draw in families like Lilo and Stitch to the box office?
I don't think it'll
Dude.
do as good as Lilo and Stitch, but I think it'll do okay.
Here's what I'm gonna say. So I sacrificed my free pass inside track. I had passes to go see How to Train Your Dragon yesterday, but I just was tied up with some work, and then I had to prep the show. I ultimately wasn't on the show. I was behind the scenes producing, but I was meant to go see the movie yesterday. I just didn't get a chance to do it, so it's unfortunate. But you know, How to Train Your Dragon looks freaking amazing. They did show it to people at CinemaCon, and everybody who saw it said it was over the top, probably like one of the best live action adaptations of any, you know, animated movie that they've done in live action. So, and it's not even Disney, right? But to that end, I think Ron, I think I don't know, it's hard to convince John of Grogu, but to answer Kevin's question, How to Train Your Dragon will make a ton of money. I just don't think it will make, as like John said, as much money as Lilo and Stitch. It may still have $100+ million opening weekend. In fact, I don't think I've been able to pull up the data, but it is out there, so we'll get into it later in the week because that's the big movie next week.
Yet.
But yeah. But as far as the overall performance, it's gonna probably lag a little bit behind Lilo and Stitch, but it will do big things. I expect How to Train Your Dragon to be very successful.
You can just watch the original movie.
Boom. Yeah, I know, but dude, you can say that about anything. You can just read the original Cinderella book. You don't need the movie. Like, just go read Shakespeare. Like, why do you watch any rom-coms? Like, just forget about it. Like, it's like, you know, that argument could go downhill so fast. But anywho, I digress. Hey, all right, so there's a fan event on July 24th at 6 p.m. So that's what is that? A couple of days before the movie comes out. In Cinemark, and so you can go watch it in their Cinemark XD, which is their biggest format, or Real D3D. So you'll get a collector's patch. So I might do that because, like I said, I have a Cinemark membership, so I probably can even get in there for free, maybe, unless they're like AMC, where they now exclude that shit from their A list because they're, you know, dumb fucks. Anyway, so if you go to an Alamo Draft House, which there are a few in New York City near us,
they always offer pint glasses.
So their pint glasses are looking nice. That's something you can probably put on a shelf after you've had it at the movie theater. Oh, Ron's saying it's a day before that early screen. Okay, well, you get to see a day early. It's not bad.
Just here, Kevin Feige. Just take it. Just take it. It's fine.
Some people are predicting that, and like Dan Murrell, one of the other movie commentators on YouTube, predicting that How to Train Your Dragon will be the biggest movie of the year. I don't think it will be the highest grossing movie of the year considering the competition around it, but I think it will be up there. It will be up there, so we'll have to just wait and see how well it does. You know what, Caleb? Just go eat shit, because I will forever say Man of Steel is one of the best Superman movies ever made. And it's not everybody's cup of tea, but you know, it's Caleb's. What do they call those people who eat other people? He's
no, it's like,
tell me in the chat.
Like, no, Caleb. No, you know what
Caleb
it's like,
is a cannibalist, so that's not. He cannibalizes.
Caleb, you know what Caleb is like? Caleb is like Shooter McGavin, where he's like, I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast, and then Dan is like, you eat pieces of shit for breakfast.
Yeah. No, I will. Yeah, that's. Do you, Caleb? Like, are you that damaged? You know, in your own.
Are you that hashtag damaged?
Hashtag yeah, exactly. There was an Alamo Draft House just 1 hour from Right Dude. Hey man, go check it out there. Get yourself a pint glass. Yeah, Lilo and Stitch probably will be the first $1 billion movie of the year. All right, well that's it. That's all the stuff that we had here. And then
Yeah,
the Galactus
Dirty
one
Regal
again.
only gets the Fantastic art, but Cinemark and AMC and
Yeah.
Alamo, they get good shit. Screw you, Regal. Right dude knows what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for all this to blow over.
Yep. I thought it was chocolate.
I don't need a pint. Although I do love the pint glasses.
Okay.
I don't need a pint glass.
I think we have run our course with the Fantastic Four for today.
Yeah, it's
Chris
34
isn't
minutes.
necessarily a big fan of it, but Chris isn't a fan of Superman either. So I don't know, Chris. We'll have to figure out something that you like. You let us know what movie you are excited for. But guys, as far as Fantastic Four goes, which of the popcorn buckets are you most looking forward to? Is it the one with Galactus? Is it the Fantastic Car? Is it any of the other things? The Herbie one? The Herbie one apparently holds your drink, your candy, and your popcorn.
Miranda Cosgrove designed it herself.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, let us know in the comments down below what you think about all of that Fantastic Four stuff. And yeah, we'll keep an eye out for any more details that come out in the days and weeks to come. But yeah, it looks fantastic, as they would say. But right now we're going to move forward and we're going to talk about, as I mentioned earlier, the right dude actually went and already saw Ballerina earlier today. So the right dude is already going to, hopefully be giving us his thoughts in the live chat. If you're watching after we were live, then get in the comments down below and tell us what you thought about, of course, the new movie Ballerina from the world of John Wick.
Sorry.
But hey, John, the movie's weekend predictions are out. And so we've got a bit of a preview, and Ballerina is looking, according to Deadline, to tiptoe past $30 million in its opening weekend, 60 million worldwide, so 30 million domestic in North America and 60 million overall around the world. But hey, Lilo and Stitch still going to be making plenty of money, so let's just kind of see what the numbers say. Of course, we saw the Ballerina numbers, and then I believe Lilo and Stitch is still meant to do quite well, so it might still top the weekend with 35 million domestic. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that Ballerina can maybe beat Lilo and Stitch for the #1 spot with maybe it overperforms the 30 million number?
Fuck no. Seriously? Come on now.
I know it's rated R. I'm just saying. What are your thoughts though, John? Overall, do you think that's a good number? Because here's the thing. The last few John Wick movies, because there's been only 4 movies in this franchise. They've all been John Wick movies. I think the last one opened like somewhere in 70 million odd, 74 million. The one before that was in the 50s. One before that was in the 40s. And so when you look at this is obviously a spin-off. I mean, yes, Keanu Reeves' John Wick is in the movie, and he's more than just a cameo, but still, Ana de Armas, is the one leading this movie. So 30 million domestic, 60 million worldwide. Do you think that's a good number for a spin-off? And also, do you think it has a chance at being Lilo and Stitch?
I don't think so. No, it's too popular. It's this is rated R. Sure, it's the John Wick franchise, but Disney, juggernaut. Disney's the juggernaut, bitch. So, no way. I'm sorry, no way. Like, I mean, my friend said it was good. So, like, I trust him on that. But I'm still kind of nervous that the production problems will show. So there's that, and it's just like it's a family thing. Family. It's all about family. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's a family.
Real. It's family.
Exactly. It's not beating Lilo and Stitch. It's just like no way an R-rated franchise that had loads of production problems with a lead actress that is more miss than hit. That's not beating Lilo and Stitch. People love Lilo and Stitch too much. People love that movie too much. So that is in tune with your movie mind. What do you mean? I've been talking about. I've been talking about multiple friends.
Sorry, that was funny. I like that. Figure Drung always points that out. I'm not saying that John's friends are mythical. There are multiple, and there are quite a few. In fact, you guys can check out John and his friends on their podcast.
He's right there. Boom.
There's
one.
Exactly.
Right there.
Check him out on the Cool Kids
movie
review channel. So yeah, I mean, absolutely, they are real. They're absolutely real.
Fuck you, Figure Drawing.
That's
all you are. You're a drawing. You're not even real.
So I want to address what Chris is saying. I mean, he did earlier say he's seen like hundreds of superhero movies and he doesn't think Fantastic Four looks good, which fair enough. You know, once the movie comes out, we'll find out for sure. But as far as Ballerina goes, he's saying that Anna de Armas is so tiny, I just can't buy her doing anything other than painting her nails. Well, did you see the last James Bond movie? Because she had probably one of the best action sequences in the entire film. And quite frankly, I think when it comes to action choreography, Anna de Armas might be one of the best, you know, actresses.
I mean,
to
she's
pull it off.
5'6". That's
that's
pretty average height for a
isn't
lady.
that above? That's above average, I feel like.
I don't know what the average is, but that's about 1 inch smaller than I am. So I am extra salty. I'm like a good movie theater popcorn.
But yeah, I mean, Chris, I don't think that's a problem. I think Ana de Armas like does the job. In fact, as I'm showing you guys here, we have the Rotten Tomato rating, 67 reviews right now, 76% as you can see. That's a pretty good score. That's higher than what was the movie? Well, that's higher than Karate Kid Legends. So that's pretty good. And when you look at some of the reviews, here you go, Polygon. Tasha Robinson said Ballerina may not satisfy all the John Wick stalwarts, but it does have its own satisfying angles.
Chris, fucking calm down. We get it.
The filmmakers
Flexing
do
on
radically
us.
different from the rest of the franchise, and one thing they take straight from the series is heart. Okay, Chris, if you are 6 feet 3, 226 pounds, that's great, but you're not gonna find many.
That's not the average height for.
Yeah, and that's not the point. Like, it's not just about your size. It's I'm sure there's, you know, people a lot smaller than you out there who can kick your ass. Like, you know, that's or any of our
Look
asses.
at Ben Wong.
True.
That dude's tiny, and that dude can 100% fucking kick your ass.
It's not. It's what is it?
Like
it's not
an army dude, and like, okay, fine, but like, yeah.
What's the saying? It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's this. It's the size of the fight and the dog. Like, that's what it matters,
that.
Right? But Houston Chronicle also given it a positive review, and you look at these reviews. They're over, I mean, 4 out of 5, 2.5 out of 5, 6 out of 10. So they're not all glowing, but like RogerEbert.com, maybe this shouldn't be seen as something outside of the shadow of John Wick, but a bridge from one film in that franchise to the next, because it does connect John Wick 3.
Yeah, and then after like one conversation, they leave him on red because they realize he's an asshole.
I mean, but okay, let's not completely let's not rag on Chris entirely. I was just pointing out, like, hey, I don't think Ana de Armas' size makes a difference here. I think it's.
But it's like, it's also like, here's the thing. I know this is crazy. It's a movie. It's not fucking real. Wow, crazy. I know, insane.
Okay, but all right, never mind. I think we're gonna go down a really big rabbit hole. Yeah, exactly. And Jackie Chan ain't like 6 feet 3, but Jackie Chan will still probably beat up most of us in a fight. Okay, all right, fair enough. Figure drawing, fair enough.
All right, let's move on.
Let's move on from that conversation. So, John, Ana de Armas, of course, you know, has been on the promotional tour for Ballerina. I think the opening box office looks good. The ratings look good. The whole controversy around the keep your more pessimistic reviews away from social media until like closer to the release. I don't know why Lionsgate trips over themselves to, you know, hurt their own marketing, but that aside, the movie is positioned well. And so Ana de Armas has been, like, you know, promoting it. And one of the things she did was talk about a movie that she's got coming up with Tom Cruise, because she's like, the man supports every movie. Tom supports every movie. He really wants audiences to go to the theaters, which I think we know at this point, considering like everything he does. He was hanging off a plane saying, "We'll see you at the movies," and then the plane does like a whole turn and then he's like upside down. So we know Tom Cruise loves going to the movies and having people go to the movies. But they are working together, John, because right now Christopher McQuarrie is writing a screenplay for an undersea supernatural film directed by Doug Liman, and it's going to star Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas. It centers on an astronaut who faces a terrifying presence during a deep sea dive into an unexplored ocean trench. Now, I don't know how an astronaut going underwater works here, or if this is they're being misquoted here, but John, it's gonna be Tom Cruise times Ana de Armas, Christopher McQuarrie writing,
astronauts
directing.
Train underwater like that because
they do. But I'm like, why would? But I know that maybe this is that movie where Tom Cruise goes to space. But then how does it? I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate on the on the details of the film. But John, the talent alone is impressive. Christopher McQuarrie, Doug Liman, Tom Cruise, Ana de Armas. Even though they used like a 10-year-old image of Tom Cruise next to probably the the present day version of Ana de Armas. But Tom Cruise also kind of never ages, even though he's sort of started to age lately. But is this a movie that you would want to watch?
Yeah, sure, why not? Hell yeah. I mean, he's worked with both of these guys before, and they've done great work. So, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I do watch the John Campea show to address what Hosea was asking, and his AMC rants are always great. But yeah, I mean, as far as this movie, it looks like we know that that's going to be, at least for Ana de Armas, one of our next projects. We know Tom Cruise is always working on 2 movies at a time. I'm looking forward to it. So going from this to another action thriller, Ana de Armas obviously on the up and up. And as far as Ballerina goes, John, 76%. It comes out this weekend. It literally comes out tomorrow. Will you go see it now that you have seen the ratings and you've obviously seen the box office prediction? It looks like for the most part it's going to do quite well. What are your thoughts? Would you go watch it this weekend?
I mean, I'm gonna go see it. I mean, cool kids are reviewing it. But I'm still a little nervous. I'm still only cautious about it. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
There you go. Awesome. Well, I mean,
I
I
don't,
personally
but like,
might go see it too because it looks good enough that I'm like it would be a fun time at the movie theater. I've seen some reviews say that it's a lot of action. It's like a popcorn flick. It's not going to be a movie where that's going to change your life.
I mean, that's all.
Which
the
I'm
John
like,
Wick
you know
movies,
what?
though.
Yeah,
That's the
like
thing.
that's totally fine. Like that's exactly what the John Wick franchise is all about. So I am totally down for that. But guys, let us know in the comments down below what you think about all the Ballerina praise. It's sitting at 76% right now as when we are doing the show on Rotten Tomatoes with 67 reviews. It's also predicted to do somewhere between 30 million just about for domestic, 60 million worldwide. It may not make it to the top of the box office because Lilo and Stitch is predicted to make 35 at the domestic box office. So, but hey, Ballerina coming out. It's looking like maybe it's the first John Wick spinoff that's worth the paper or the film that it's printed on. So let us know in the comments down below what you think about it. Are you gonna go see it this weekend? If you already have like the right dude in the live chat, then drop your review down in the chat, or if in the comments if you're not watching live, and then we will bring that back in for the Q&A session at the end of the week. But right now, John, we have to dive into, well, some Superman news early. We do have a ton of Superman news coming up later in the show for DCU Daily proper, but let's start by talking about how Rachel Brosnahan is one of the stars of the summer right now. She's out there promoting Superman out the wazoo. She's going to be on the promotional tour. And, well, she just did this incredible magazine interview, I think the S magazine, as it is on the screen there. And not only did she do a photo shoot, but she also, of course, did an interview. So we're gonna go through some of the images, and then we'll talk about what she said. So let's get into it. One of the first things is the cover. This is the cover of the S magazine. Rachel Brosnahan, of course, she's now part of probably the biggest franchise of her career, and so she, she knows the lights will shine bright. And as part of that, it's also a matter of filming a lot of things where she's on green screen, blue screen sets. Things are going to get replaced with CGI. You have to act against props or just things that are not there. And so she mentioned, the challenges of filming Superman. And I quote, "I've never felt like a worse actor in my life. We started hanging from wires, shooting with fake animals that weren't actually there, and doing all sorts of other jazz that will get added in post. But it was great. You learn really quickly what you are and aren't good at." So, John, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, Swag fan loves this. Again, Rachel Brosnahan being pretty blunt, but also saying that she took on the challenge. And obviously, we talked about yesterday too, how she perceives her past experience and why she's ready to play Lois Lane. Overall, just what your thoughts on what she said here regarding Superman? I'm sure she's not the only one who's had this experience.
It takes a lot of time to get used to because it's just like it just shows how talented you are and like feelings of inadequacy.
Yeah.
I got to talk to the air or a tennis ball or like a guy
famously
in a
in like the
suit.
Star Wars prequels, right? Like with the Jabba the Hutt and not Jabba the Hutt. What was it? What was the other one? Why am I forgetting the one that everybody hates? The character that everybody hates. The first
You're gonna have to be more
all CGI character. The first all CGI character in the movie. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, go ahead. You were making your point, John.
But yeah, I think that makes sense. Like, there's the whole idea of like acting to something that isn't there. It's a really weird and awkward, but I have faith and
Thank you, Jar Jar Binks. That's what I was looking for.
yeah. Well, I mean, I mean, Ahmad Best was there. He was. You could talk to him, like he was in the mocap suit and everything. So, not totally right, but yeah, I think I could see that, but I have faith, and it's just like it just takes a lot of time getting used to, and I think she
Yeah.
did because she looks great in the movie.
Yeah. She also looks great here on the cover of S Magazine. And if you guys want to, go, of course, read the whole thing, it is available online. So you can go read the article. You've got the photo shoot, and then you've got the questions that she's answering. Apparently, she showed up to this flying across the world from 2 other promotional tour stops. I'm guessing it's for Superman, because I don't think there's another movie she's promoting right now. And then she just did the whole photo shoot and did the interview, and then she's probably going to be like off again on the world tour soon. So she's working hard. I mean, every person that's involved in this whole promotional tour, whether it was Nicholas Hoult, David Cornsweet, of course Richard Brosnahan, James Gunn himself, who's still editing Peacemaker while he does all the promotional work, as well as I can imagine some of the other actors from the movie will show up. They're all just out there each and every day, so doing magazine interviews and then just going out there on red carpet premieres soon in a few weeks time. It's crazy. It's amazing. You got to have a lot of stamina to pull this off. So yeah, dang, Rachel is right, enterprising. So yeah, someone spent the night with Superman. Okay, all right, enterprising, we're not gonna go that far, but they are grinding. They're hustling, and that's what's it gonna take to bring
Hustling
DC
and
back to
bustling.
life. Yep, because we need that for DC. Like the DC brand at the theater, at the movie theater at least, it has been tarnished over the years. So they definitely need to pull out all the stops, and it looks like that's exactly what they're doing here. But like I said again, you can go check this out. She posted it on her own Instagram account too. But the S Magazine, I'm sure most of you guys probably didn't even know that was a thing until we talked about it today. But the S Magazine, of course, is where you can find the rest of the interview. There's some really good quotes in there. So yeah, do go check that out. But in the meantime, guys, let us know in the comments down below. What do you think about Rachel Brosnahan? Kind of just saying, hey, it's not easy. She comes from the world of television where, she's acting against other people. Whereas with Superman, she was acting against, some just fake animals and just stuff that's going to be added in post and CGI. And then also just the hugeness of Superman, the franchise. Like there's a lot of eyeballs on this movie, and the spotlight burns bright. So let us know in the comments what you think about Rachel Brosnahan taking on the challenge of Lois Lane and such an iconic franchise, one of the premier franchises in all of Hollywood. So let us know in the comments down below, and of course we'll keep an eye out for other interviews and stories like that in the days and weeks to come. But right now, John, we got to move on, and we have to talk about quick hits because we are done with the news stories, but we do have a few other pieces of news. Just they go a whole hell of a lot faster. So let's change up the graphics. There we go. The quick hits. Let's dive into it, shall we? Let me see if I can load up the links. We'll try to get to them in record time. But yeah, the first one, according to one of the insiders out there, Avengers Doomsday will reportedly reveal that Gambit comes from the same universe that Monica Rambeau traveled to in the Marvels, where we saw other X-Men, including, the OG Beast from the movies in the 2000s. John, what are your thoughts on this one?
I don't believe it because it's from a scooper, but it would make sense though, because it seems like we're getting like a kind of sort of Fox X-Men, but they're gonna be like featured with like, more comic accurate stuff and like suits and that kind of thing. So that's what I imagine. Like, it's not actually the Fox universe; it's just like something very close to that.
It's like
that
a
they want
close
to showcase
variation of it
in the MCU. So
gotcha.
but
yeah.
makes sense.
I mean, that's my guess. Makes sense, says Enterprising. Good, because I'm still trying to finish Monday's stream out. Yeah, Jose, you know what? We had a long show on Monday. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a shorter show today because I'm really tired, and as is John. So let's get into the next one. We found out today that Children of Blood and Bone, which you mentioned a while ago, that's a book adaptation. This could become an entire franchise because there's a whole series of books. That has wrapped production after a 74-day shoot. John, what are your thoughts on this one? Is this one that you're looking forward
to? Maybe.
Cool. Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Like, we'll just have to wait and see because I don't know enough about the book series, so we'll just have to see what the movie looks like because I haven't read the book, so I'll just judge the movie for what it is. But Ryan Reynolds' Animal Friends has now been delayed to 2026 at Warner Brothers. Jason Momoa, Aubrey Plaza, and Addison Rae also star in the movie directed by Peter Atencio. It's a live-action hybrid movie. John, your thoughts on this delay? I guess we just have to wait another year to see Ryan Reynolds back at it again. So
Don't really care.
I figured that's what you would say. Swag fan says, I've never heard of it. Black young adult book adaptations feel rare. That's true, Enterprising. That's why Children of Blood and Bone is so unique and interesting. So Antonio saying that movie only going to make money because Jason Momoa was in it. Don't get it twisted. You know what? Fair enough. But hey, Ryan Reynolds still a draw. His last movie made $1.3 billion. So
Yeah, because it's a Deadpool movie with Hugh Jackman
but dude,
as
Deadpool
Wolverine.
and Ryan Reynolds are basically synonymous with each other. Anyway, quick hits. Blumhouse acquiring Saw rights from Twisted Pictures, John. This is big news. Unfortunately, I didn't feel like we need to talk about it for very long. But what are your thoughts? Because remember, this franchise was a complete mess. And it looks like finally there's some resolution, and the resolution comes from Blumhouse just dishing out the cash to buy the rights.
Yeah,
to
because the
franchise.
last two times Blumhouse acquired a franchise, it really went well. Cough, cough, Halloween Ends, cough, cough, The Exorcist Believer, cough, cough. So, I guess to all 5 Saw fans that are out there, maybe they're excited, maybe they hate this. I don't really care. I saw the first one, I was surprised with it, but I don't plan on watching any of the torture porn sequels. So, yeah. Cool, I guess.
You didn't saw that coming, says Caleb. There you go. Thank you for that pun. Moving on to the next thing. Warner Brothers Discovery has initiated more layoffs in their cable TV division. Of course, it was only yesterday. We were talking about how Disney had laid off some people in their entertainment division. So more layoffs happening as we get into the second quarter of the year, John. Again, it's never a good thing when you see people losing their jobs, but it's been a year since they did their last round of layoffs, and these ones largely impact the Discovery side of the company, which runs the cable networks, including, of course, Discovery Channel, ID, and TLC, and all the other ones. So it looks like there were just some redundancies, and they wanted to make cuts for efficiency's sake. Your thoughts on this one?
They're assholes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But by the way, Enterprising, I don't know who's directing the next Saw movie or writing it. I think the franchise was sort of in limbo after the last one that they were developing kind of like went nowhere. But we'll catch up with that story later once we have more details. John M. Chu, of course, we mentioned he's working on a new movie with Sydney Sweeney on yesterday's show, but of course his next big film coming out this year is Wicked for Good, and he said that it's going to feature a lot more Dorothy. We tread lightly, he says. Your thoughts on this? I guess we're gonna see more Dorothy Gale than was originally included in even the Broadway musical in the next Wicked movie. What
I mean, there is a whole big book that you can derive from, so obviously that makes sense. But I do hope that it does follow the book a little bit more, because from what I've heard of the musical, it's kind of like a week later, and then like the events of Wizard of Oz is like already starting. It's like, whoa, that's a little bit too quick. Meanwhile, in the book, it's like years that Elphaba is like kind of like this like terrorist type character that the wizard frames her as, and then the events of the Wizard of Oz comes in. So I'm curious how it's gonna make that work. I mean, you have 2 movies at your disposal, so it would make sense that you would kind of derive a little bit from the more of the book as well, without all of the horniness. But hopefully that they can do that instead of like having it feel like awkward and jagged. Because one of my biggest problems with the first one is that despite being a very long movie, it felt very rushed, especially their friendship. I did not buy it. Like, it was like, oh, we were such good friends. It's like, you were friends for like 5 minutes and then you've had a falling out. So it's like, I don't know if I buy that. But I think Wicked, I mean, other than the dumb title, I'm reasonably excited for it. I think the trailer is a hell of a lot better than the previous. The trailer for the first one was garbo. Like, I had no hope in that movie at all, and it turned out to actually be pretty good. So this trailer is way better. So let's hope that it's an even better movie.
Yeah, hey, I'm on the same boat with you, but hopefully, we'll see later this year. around Thanksgiving time, right? So, but hey, you know what? Conan O'Brien is set to return to late night, or I guess debut on late night with Seth Meyers. So, of course, we remember, we all know the story how Conan was once upon a time the late night host before he got kicked off, or on the Tonight Show. But like, he's gonna be showing up as a guest on Late Night with Seth Meyers. Care to comment on that, John?
Cool for Conan.
Good for him. He's on a comeback trail. He's now hosting the Academy Awards. He's righting all the wrongs in his career, hopefully. But he deserves all the success he gets because the man works really hard for it. But hey, we mentioned there was a Ryan Reynolds and Jason Momoa movie earlier. I feel like Jason Momoa is in everything right now because he's also going to be working on a movie with Andy Samberg in a highly competitive situation involving offers from both studios, according to Deadline, and of course streamers like Netflix. Netflix, of course, ended up landing the pitch for the two-hander action comedy to star Andy Samberg and Jason Momoa. And Deadline hears that the currently untitled film is set in Hawaii. The script will be written by SNL alums Rob Klein and John Solomon. John, what are your thoughts on this one?
Cool. I don't know if I'll see it, but cool.
Yes,
makes sense. Set in Hawaii. Let's get one of the few Polynesian actors into this.
Isn't the next Martin Scorsese movie with The Rock and everything that's also set in Hawaii?
Yep.
Everybody's going to Hawaii. My brother went to Hawaii. Now everybody's shooting in Hawaii. Anyway, there's a Jurassic World movie coming out that I bet you they shot a bunch of it in Hawaii. Anyway, moving on to the next thing. Hawaii is a really popular place. One of Them Days sequel is in development with Keke Palmer and SZA returning. John, the first movie was a breakout hit. A movie that kind of flew under. Yeah, it was. No, it wasn't like a $1 billion movie or anything, but for a movie of its size and scale, it was received really well, and a lot of people went to see it. So they've greenlit a sequel.
I just remember seeing this trailer constantly, and I wanted to fucking lobotomize myself every time I saw it. And it just looked like a really annoying movie, but for all the fans that liked it, happy you're getting a sequel, because I couldn't care less.
I personally, I enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to seeing the sequel. I mean, Keke Palmer says it's like it was like a road trip sort of a movie, like a buddy comedy sort of a situation. Tony saying it was pretty good. Yeah, well, now there's a sequel in development and both of the stars are coming back for it. So looking forward to it. Speaking of stars, Mikey Madison is in talks to star in A24's Out There reimagining of Edgar Allan Poe's Mask of the Red Death. The Oscar-winning actress would replace Sydney Sweeney as she finally finds a go-to movie to take on after her Oscar-winning breakthrough in Anora. Of course, her agency, her agents and everything, they've all been looking for a movie where she's not going to have that post-Oscar slump that a lot of people have. And it looks like this might be finally the one that they choose as her next project. What are your thoughts, John? Do you think this is a good choice for her?
Definite downgrade from Sydney Sweeney. And it's not.
But she's an Oscar-winning actress. Like,
okay, right? Cool. Sydney Sweeney's hotter, so like whatever. And
those are not the same.
I don't care. And also, it's not even going to touch the Corman version with Vincent Price. That had Vincent Price. That's all you need to know, and so that will always be infinitely superior. This will be inferior. Yeah, because Vincent Price is goated and a god among men. So yeah. Roger Corman is a god among men.
I'm sure it's gonna be a fun movie though, because
I'm probably not gonna like. It's gotta really, really, really impress me with a trailer to make me go see it, because I don't really care. I'm just probably gonna watch the original instead. Well, it's not the original, but the most famous adaptation. So,
fair enough. Fair enough. Well, good luck to Mikey Madison. And also, I guess, good luck to Nicole Kidman, because she's set to star in Girls and Their Horses TV series, which is now in development.
Oh my god, Horse Girls are finally getting a series, guys. Woohoo. Why is this
Nicole
news?
Kidman signing on to more projects. I don't have any horse in this race, as it were, so I'll just say best of luck to you, Nicole. Luca Guadagnino, I mentioned at the top of the show, if only he had, not like 5 other projects in the works that will never get made. He's now set to also direct Artificial. The movie's called Artificial. It's a drama about AI for Amazon MGM. Cool. John, is this gonna get shelved, or is this gonna actually come through? Are we gonna make this movie? Like, what is up with Luca Guadagnino these days?
I don't really care. The dude has like 17 million projects, and Yeah, Vincent Price does rule. Yeah, well, I mean, he kind of did with Fall of the House of Usher, but it was less adaptation and more like loosey goosey with it. But he did kind of do it already.
Yeah.
But I don't really care about this. Luca Guadagnino's 10,000 projects, whatever. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean,
Bye.
Antonio, I agree with you. Mikey Madison and Sydney Sweeney are both incredibly, beautiful women. So, I mean, and Margot Robbie for all that matter. I mean, hey, as far as star power goes, they all have stuff going for them. But Luca Guadagnino, yeah, it looks interesting. He's trying different things at least. Like, none of the projects that he's attached himself to are the same thing. Like, they all are very different from each other. So there's that. By the way, there was a Mike Flanagan story I think I might have skipped on today's show. I'll save it for another day. I think it was about one of his horror movies. Let me see. He was talking about how there's no way his Exorcist movie will make its release date, which, cool. All right. Maybe we'll talk about that another day. But John, Cillian Murphy won't appear in 28 Years Later trilogy until the end of the second movie. And Danny Boyle says, the director, that he hopes casting him for the end of that second movie gets the third film financed. What are your thoughts? Do you think that will get the third film financed? And then again, what do you think about him coming in at the end of the second movie?
Hopefully. I hope it's a pointful, like, cameo or role rather than like, oh, he's just there because people see him and are like, oh, I recognize him, and that's it. I think I hope that's the case because I want to see his vision completed. And like 28 years later, both of those trailers, I was shocked with how amazing they were. And I like the first one. I love the second one. So it still wasn't a franchise I was like super like, oh my God, I'm a huge fan of. But like that trailer brought me in and I'm hooked now, and I'm going to be watching these movies. And I hope they do. I hope he gets that third film finance, because it would be a shame if we got 2 movies out of the trilogy and then nothing.
I agree with you. 100%. By the way, guys, Antonio letting you guys know, as well as Fiona, hit the like button. We see a lot of you guys watching, and less than half of you guys have hit the like button. We really appreciate it. It's one little click for you guys. It does a whole hell of a lot for us, and then it grows the community, gets the show out in front of more people, and we can have more people checking us out and in the chat with you guys. So with that in mind, hit that like button, and we got to talk about Slow Horses, John, because one of my favorite shows on Apple TV Plus is coming back for season 5, and now it's got a fall premiere date, and they also actually have some first look photos, which shows Nick Mohammed. Of course, he's been in Ted Lasso, and he's going to have a guest appearance or a guest recurring role in the new season of the show. Of course, the new season, the 5th season, will debut with 2 episodes on September 24th, and then they will release 1 episode a piece every week following until October 22nd. And there's already a 6th season coming, so the series was renewed in October of last year, John. So we know this won't be the last. We're going to be able to watch the show. And what I love about Slow Horses, at the end of every season, they give you a preview of the next season. They literally show you footage. Like, it's so rare today when you have to wait for the next season for like 2 years for every show you like to see.
2 years? We'd be lucky to get that.
Exactly. But like, they give you an actual whole ass trailer for the next season at the end of the season you're currently watching. It's unheard of in today's world. But what do you think about this? I don't know if you have caught on to this yet, but I know I love it. And when you look at these photos, the whole cast from the previous seasons is back. Some of the characters are getting onto new things. That female character there is definitely new. And of course, the usual suspects are back. Gary Oldman leading the way. And what is that? Is that like, that's a sword. That's a big ass sword. But Nick Mohammed, he's jumping over from Ted Lasso for this as well, John. What do you think about this? Is this one that you're gonna catch when it airs?
I haven't watched any other seasons of the show, so I'm probably not gonna watch this season. So yeah, but I think my parents watch it, so hopefully they'll be happy with it.
It's really good. And you know what? On the right there, you got James Callis. I loved him in Battlestar Galactica for all the years that show was on. His character was such a weasel, but like he's been in this show playing a weaselly character again. So I'm like, he's back to his old tricks. So I like it. I can't wait for Slow Horses to be back. It's also Emmy nominated, so it might have an Emmy to its name by the time it releases the new season. But speaking of Emmys, John, Seth Rogen, behind the show The Studio, he has heard from almost every Hollywood executive, he said, about his satire The Studio, and saying that it's great or I guess most of the people tell him, most of the executives, that it's great, but it's very traumatic to watch, which is kind of accurate, I feel like, because the show, from what I've heard, is surprisingly on the mark with the kind of shit that goes on in Hollywood and the stories that they cover. It's like they're only exaggerating some of the stuff in the show so much. So it's definitely satirical, but it hits pretty close to home for a lot of executives who have watched it. So very traumatic to watch. What are your thoughts on that?
I think, yeah, I mean,
it's hilarious. If you have secondhand embarrassment, don't watch the show. But anyway, go ahead, John.
Well, yeah, because it's like it's making fun of all the dumbass crap that like they pull, and it's they say it's great but very traumatic to watch. Like, so with that, maybe actually be the change you need to be and fucking do something about it, and like actually have like some sort of like incubation in your mind of like, oh hey, maybe I shouldn't do all the dumbass things that's gonna cause movies to become like a bygone era of entertainment because we can't like get our shit together. So like, be the change that you want to be, buddy, or like just don't and keep making Disney live action remakes, and then like movies will just be like, I remember when we went to places and there was a big screen. Okay, grandpa, let's go back to the nursing home. All right. And it's just like, yeah. So like, do something about it. Crazy.
I will say this, it's one of the most fun shows I've seen this year, and I haven't finished it all the way yet, so I'm still catching up, but it's already been renewed and I can't wait for the second season. So we'll just have to wait and see when that comes out. But John, food for thought. Thank you, Swag. But hey, this story I thought was the most ridiculous thing I saw today on the internet, and that was Christopher McQuarrie, the director of the new Mission Impossible and the last 3 Mission Impossible movies, saying that the plane stunt in the movie that was inspired by a TikTok video. Christopher McQuarrie said that in The Final Reckoning, that whole stunt was just because he basically showed a TikTok clip to Tom Cruise saying, I foolishly showed Tom a video thinking he'd simply be amused by it. And he said, I could do that. I could do that. I'm like, are you surprised that literally this whole stunt where Tom Cruise didn't have a parachute on, he could have literally died on probably several occasions. They have a helicopter. You've seen the behind the scenes of footage of it. There's a helicopter and a biplane way too close for comfort between the two of them. You'd never see them that close, not to mention a man hanging off one of the two. And then in the movie, of course, you see him like jump between 2 planes. It's all because of a TikTok video. I mean, are you surprised at this point that Tom Cruise, it was like a dare almost?
Just like just Tom Cruise, it's like, all right, bet. And then he fucking does it. It's like, all right. Exactly. But like, it's not shocking. Not shocking. This man wants to die on camera. It's gonna happen. Like, to quote the great Aaron Hansen, I want to die like I lived, fully monetized. So like, you know what? Go with it, Tom.
Completely fair. And then he'll get like every lifetime achievement award that.
Oh yeah.
Probably, you know. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
But hey, as Caleb was saying, if you want change in the world, you'll have to change first. Some wise guy. Well, Tom Cruise is, always making the change that he wants to see in the world for himself. But hey, if you want to go see him do this, he's not stopping anytime soon. He says he's going to be an action star till he's dead, quite frankly. So, and that tracks. Well, but that is the end of the quickest, John. We do have to move on to DC Daily.
Sad days.
Let us know in the comments down below what you thought about all the quickets. Was your favorite story the fact that, yeah, Tom Cruise basically did that whole stunt because he saw a TikTok video and said, I could do that. Like, would you do that? Like, if you saw a crazy TikTok video? When most people say that is because they're trying to do the Gangnam Style dance or some other shitty trend, not because they want to like jump from one plane to the next. I want to see whatever TikTok video he saw in the first place. But anyway, let us know in the comments down below, guys. What was your favorite part of the quickest today or the news? And of course, if you're live, thank you for watching. Hit the like button. We do appreciate that, as John was pointing out earlier. If you're new, we do this 5 days a week, so hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and we do appreciate that. But hey, we're not done yet. We're far from it, in fact, because now it's time for the main event.
How long is this show?
I don't know, John. We're gonna be here for a while, it looks like. So hang on to your butts and get ready, because it's time. It's DC time. Hello and welcome on into another episode of DCU Daily. As always, we've got a lot to talk about, a lot of Superman stuff. In fact, almost exclusively all Superman stuff today, John. But speaking of which, what of the many things we're going to talk about relating to the Superman movie are you most excited to talk about today?
I'm excited to talk about. I like how it was revealed a lot of the stuff in the book that was. I know that was from yesterday, but I do like how we definitely got some more reveals of that stuff, whether it's good or bad. It's like, oh, you're revealing too much, but it's like, let's see. I'm curious. So, yeah, fair enough. Hell yeah.
Well, Jalen is here. Let me swap out the graphic here. Yeah, hello, Jalen. Just made it in time. Welcome on in. Hit the like button, Jalen. We do appreciate that as always. Let me see. 37 days to go. Man of Steel. Man of Steel. Superman coming out in 37 days. Sorry, force of habit. Great movies. They ring in your mind forever. But anyway, I digress. Hunter Iggy is still in the chat, and we'll get to his comment. But 37 days, John. It's a little over a month. It's so close. It's like it's finally
almost
becoming so real. But before we dive into the conversation as a whole, Hunter Iggy came into the chat earlier with the question: have you seen what Sean O'Rourke said today about James Gunn's?
Of course he did. Of course he did.
But Hunter Iggy was saying, like, Sean O'Rourke's comments about James Gunn needing to stop releasing footage. It's solidified his worst fears. I found that, I'm not gonna put it on screen, but I mean, he was saying stuff like tonally it's a disaster, it's more jokey marketing, they're putting too much out there and that's going to be a problem. There's the Henry Cavill debacle. Well, I think on all points we don't have to worry about any of those things, because the Henry Cavill debacle, what debacle? Henry Cavill's universe, the one that he was a part of, is done. We're moving on a new direction. Marketing, I think the marketing for this movie, the fact that they're doing a good job bears in the numbers that we've been talking about recently. What was it? Was it a Monday show that we talked about the early box office tracking? This movie's tracking to be the biggest opening of the year. 175, 185, maybe even close to 200 million. If the marketing was terrible, then it wouldn't be tracking to be the biggest movie opening of the year, right? And so I don't know, Sean, like, whatever he said, I didn't listen to this whole rant or video, but I saw some of his points. Tonally, I don't think that's a problem, and the trailers will not give away the entire tone of the movie. People will get to comment on that once to see the whole thing. So I wanted to address that comment from Hunter Iggy earlier. But anyway, yeah. Oh no, not Sean, said Jalen. Well, there you go. I just want to address that comment from Hunter. But John, let's dive into all the Superman news today. And the very first thing we have to do is we have to get into the character posters that we didn't get yesterday, but James Gunn was like, hold your horses, people, there's more coming. And well, today we got them. We got the Lex Luthor one, we got a bunch more. Let's go over here and we can go through them one at a time. We still are missing a few. Most of the Daily Planet stuff we haven't seen, which I'm guessing they're gonna put that out as a batch. But today we got a lot of the villains of the movie, we got a lot of the metahuman, the heroes yesterday, and so maybe, like, Team Superman in a way. Whereas this looks like more Team Lex Luthor, if there's a theme. So of course we start with Lex Luthor, looking glorious, and then we have the engineer.
She looks like she's like on crack or something.
Yeah, it's a very expressive poster. Looks like the fishtail character, says Morcat. Well, there you go.
First of all, it's Shark Tail. First off, second,
like,
that's mean.
But that is a little mean. That is definitely mean. I mean, look, it looks great to me, because yes, it's not comic book accurate, but I think when you see the way they're doing the whole nanotech integration with CGI in the movie, I mean, we've already seen it in the trailers. It looks fantastic. She might actually be one of the best, like, parts of this film. And yeah, Lex does look great. I mean, honestly, you got Nicholas Hoult to play Lex Luthor, and he went all out bald for it. It's okay, Caleb. Yeah, I think we're done with the Jolly Ranchers. Although
I think that's what's gonna come next. I think we're gonna get
with Jolly Ranchers. Yes.
I think we're gonna get Lois Lane. We're gonna get Jimmy Olsen, Steve Lombard, Ron Troop, Cat Grant, Perry White. We're gonna be getting all of those too.
All of those. Yeah, hit that like button. Freeze Brett that like button, like Man of Steel is asking you guys to do. Hosea saying Crypto's eyes look alien. No, we did I don't know if he talked about it yesterday, but we
Yeah,
did
I
show the
said his
poster.
eyes look a little bit off to
A
me.
little bit, but you know what? I didn't read. I didn't think it was too far off the mark. It looks like a regular dog. Maybe he has heat vision. Maybe that's what you're hinting at. We haven't seen that yet. I'm sure they're gonna save something for the movie itself, so they're not gonna reveal all of his powers before the movie comes out. So, yeah. Hello, engineer, says Jalen. Enterprising thinks she's definitely more villainous than her comic book counterpart. It seems. Well, yeah. I mean, hey, maybe she has a character arc. She starts more on the villainous side. But hey, Sarah Sampaio as Eve Tessmacher. So we've got that. It looks like she's taking the same selfie except in a different dress from the one in the movie. And it's like her phone case is also different here than her. I guess she's one of those people who matches her phone case or whatever in an outfit she's got on the day. So this looks nice. She did do that interview on the DC Studios official podcast, and that was fun. She's a big fan of Dragon Ball Z, and this was like one of probably her biggest project of her career. So, what are you talking about, Jose? Okay. Oh, you're joking. Cool. Okay. Yeah, Zack Snyder's movies have character arcs. Caleb, calm down.
They become more evil and more snapping necky by the end of the movie.
Dude, Superman died and came back to life. Anyway, okay. I'm not gonna get pulled into the mud. Let's talk about the Metamorpho poster, which
we already did talk about it yesterday.
We did, because people fucking shamed him into releasing it early, but clearly was meant to be part of everything that came out today. It looks amazing, and he actually pointed. I forget the name of the studio that somebody asked him. He said I think it was Legacy Effects did all the SFX hair and makeup stuff. Well, not much hair, but all the makeup and prosthetics look amazing, and I can imagine they'll have some CGI extensions of that. So that looks nice. Zordon, he does kind of look like Zordon a little bit. Moving on to the next poster, Rick Flag Sr., Frank Grillo, of course. This just looks like they took a photo from one of the behind the scenes set pictures and then cropped him out of there and photoshopped him with the poster. This definitely doesn't look like where the engineer is pointing to the camera with her hand. I don't know, John. This looks like a little half-assed to me. I wasn't as impressed with Rick Flag's poster, but
you're just saying that to get Liz's goat because she loves Frank Grillo. That's all you're doing.
Well, Monique also loves Frank, saying he's looking great. Rick Flag Sr. looks like my dad, says Caleb. Oh, that's fun. Send us a photo. We'll do a side-by-side comparison.
Also, I love how he just looks like Crossbones here. Like before,
you know what? That's actually very true. That's very true.
He just has a look. He just has a look. But I like how in the
it's like
show,
Pedro Pascal, like he doesn't shave his.
He has like a fucking old man shirt, an old man polo shirt. I love that.
I love it. Yeah, Enterprising, I agree with you. This poster looks a bit lazy. It's not really a character poster like these other ones. Like they're posing for this. Oh, you are joking.
Frank Grillo was like, no. I'm done. I filmed my shit. Just Photoshop me in.
Just Photoshop me in. That's fine. He probably will have a character poster for Peacemaker though. But he'll be like choking Peacemaker in that poster, or punching him out. But where's the V-neck? What are you talking about? From the Well, you can't have everything in the poster. The gray streaks. Yeah. Well, we talked about it. The live action version versus the Creature Commandos animated version. It's going to be a little bit different. So. We do get a little more gray in the Peacemaker trailer, but I don't know. I mean, hey, that's not gonna make or break the movie. I don't think. I think I agree with some of what Chris is saying. Metamorpho definitely looks like probably the best poster of the bunch. Hawkgirl, no, I thought Hawkgirl looked okay from yesterday.
It's just the eyes look a little bit weird.
Well, because they're not doing black paint all around her eyeballs, like it's like what Batman does. That's why it looks a little like the mask doesn't, she just has it on as opposed. It's not as integrated, which I'm kind of fine with that. I'm like, whatever, it's fine. She's gonna take her helmet off all the time anyway, so and like the eye slots are pretty big, so it's kind of like in the Batman, right? Like you see him like putting those on, and they show you the process. It's Metamorpho does look awesome, Caleb. I agree with you. Well, John, what are your thoughts on these posters? Overall, this batch versus the one from yesterday, of course. We had Superman in yesterday's batch and the Justice Gang, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But a lot more of the villainous, or I guess, anti-hero characters here on today's batch. How does this compare to what we got yesterday?
I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I like the two sides of it, and I hope we get the Daily Planet bullpen next.
I hope so. I think at this point that's what's left, right? I don't know if they're gonna go as far as giving us Mon Pokken posters.
I mean, Hawkgirl didn't have the white eyes in the animated series, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I've just reached a point where I just don't think the white eyes look good. I don't, because it's like,
dude, we did like an entire episode on this.
We did.
Like, you guys can go back and search our backlog, and you'll find we did a whole. I don't think we
personally. I don't think the white eyes looks good. The only time I feel like the white eyes are good is Deadpool, because the Deadpool is like the only thing he needs is his mouth, because he's the merc with a mouth and he doesn't shut the fuck up. That's the whole point. So that's what works. But like when you're dealing with like Batman, who is literally covered from head to toe in black, gray, blue, whatever the iteration is, he needs to be expressive. Like even guys like Green Lantern and Green Arrow and all these other guys, they need to be expressive. They need to showcase their emotions. The eyes of the window, the eyes of the soul is through the windows to the soul is through the eyes. That's what I meant to say.
The eyes are the windows to the soul, I think, is what you were trying to say.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing with that. So like I don't like the white eyes. Like Deadpool, it works. Nobody else works. I don't like Batman with the white eyes. It just doesn't work. And
it
I
worked
feel like
that one sequence they did in the Dark Knight, but I don't want to.
Like but he's like that was like an in-universe reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the only situation in which I'm okay with that. But guys, let us know in the comments down below. What do you think about all these new posters? Of course, we've got
exactly. I think Hawkman was definitely amazing.
Yeah,
I will say Black Adam, not a good movie.
Posters.
They cooked with those fucking costumes. Like 100, even the Black Adam costume, the Hawkman, the Dr. Fate, and even the Atom Smasher outfit were all. And Sabak, not a great villain, but again, he looked straight from the comics. So like, you know what? The Black Adam, the costume designer for that movie deserved a goddamn Oscar. The rest of the movie's fucking trash. But like, they deserved all the love they get. Like, I mean, Aldous Hodge, that dude is incredible. Like, he's a great actor. So
I wish they brought him back.
I wish we got a proper Justice Society movie instead of that fucking Garbo movie, because it would have been so much better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, let's not ponder on what's behind us. Yeah, the costumes were the best part of the movie, but hey, you know what? The costumes in Superman look great too, and so do these.
I like how
posters.
Defria said we look like a fun bunch.
Yeah. She has the best. I think her poster is the best one. She stole that spotlight away from even Lex Luthor in that one. But yeah, I mean, hey guys, let us know which of these batch of character posters is your favorite. Are you looking forward to the Daily Planet crew posters, which I'm sure we'll be getting soon enough? But in the meantime, we have to get into. I found a press release on the DC press website because we keep talking about like the million different, promotional collaborations and tie-ins and activations and integrations that they're doing. Apparently they put out a press release where they gave us everything in one place. I was like, might as well. So here we are, John. You're getting all the Mattel and Funko Pop stuff in one place. Some of this stuff we have seen before. Tell me where to stop if you want to comment on anything. Fossil, we literally did a tier list of all the Superman marketing yesterday, and Fossil was a pretty high score. We got all the DC shop stuff for the crypto, whether you want to get a cape for your dog, a dog bowl for his treats, or you want to get a harness for your favorite dog from Sassy Wolf.
Good stuff.
We've got the books. Of course, we've got like the official novel inspired by the film. We have talked about that before. We're going to talk a lot about the there's a children's book that we're going to talk about, which is I think that's the one on the right, Crypto Hero in Training. We'll get into that because it gives away a few details for the movie. The Squishy Light, I love that. That's from Paladone, and then Ferris Wheel Press Pens, which John, you definitely want to get a few of yourself. And yes, Hosea, we will get into the runtime. It's in the title of the show, dude. We're gonna get it. We're getting to that. Don't worry. We do have that news. Of course, we talked about you can get yourself some Hot Topic merch with Superman logo on it. There's a box lunch hoodie. The classic Superman theme.
Oh my
collection.
God, guys, come
Get yourself
on.
a
Are
pair
we?
of Crocs.
No, no, guys, come on.
But hey, you can get yourself some backpacks, some lunch boxes from Pottery Barn Kids. Then that's it. All right. Well, you know what? That is not the only thing, because then I went ahead and found out that apparently American Airlines is maybe the official sponsor of the movie. Kind of like how Turkish Airlines sponsored Batman v Superman, where now if you are flying an American and you see their like where you are on the map, your progress information, it's the Superman logo. So that's kind of cool. I thought these that was kind of nice. Um, gotta get those Crocs. Well, go ahead, Swag fan. If you get them, you gotta send us a photo so we can show it off on the show here. But yeah, this was nice. Not a big deal, but I'm sure they'll have a commercial coming up. But John, they also have some NECA figures here. Look at this guy here.
Looks like a
He looks-
bobblehead.
It is a bobblehead. That's
Oh,
essentially
okay.
what it is.
I was gonna
head
say
knockers.
you just said figurines, so I was like, oh, and then I'm like,
But these are, it doesn't, I don't know if these are final images because there's a pending final approval asterisk on it. So, but your thoughts overall? What do you think about these guys?
pretty cool.
Them shoes are already ugly. Putting Superman logo on it doesn't make it even better. Yeah, I mean, Crocs are not everybody's cup of tea. But hey, John, speaking of cup of tea, maybe you want to have some fudge stripes with your cup of tea.
No,
because they got a special Superman
no,
Keebler
because it's
collaboration.
berry. It's berry flavored. Like you had it right there. You could have made it like red velvet or something. No, they made it gross. Fuck out of here with that shit.
I just love how I was able to transition between the last and this one with a cup of tea. That was the best transition of the day.
A nice cuppa.
Nice cuppa. Well, hey, they did have put out that children's book, and in that children's book, we got all these character descriptions. So, of course, the Superman one is obvious. Like he's from Krypton. On Earth, he goes by Clark Kent. After bidding goodbye to his mind pie in the small town appropriately called Smallville, Clark moved to Metropolis. Now Clark tries to balance a full-time job as a reporter at the Daily Planet, but being a superhero, can he protect his friends and get the major scoop for his next article? So that one is pretty much on par for what we expect from Superman. Then we get some of the other ones here. So Mr. Terrific is one of the metahumans residing in Metropolis, sworn to defend the city and protect its citizens from danger. His brilliant invention, the T-Spheres, helps him to do everything from battling supervillains to running his high-tech company, Holt Industries. All right, where he leads his civilian life as a scientist named Michael Holt. Any of this surprise you, John?
Yeah, it's intriguing that they brought in Holt Industries because it seems like he's working for Maxwell Lord as part of that Justice Gang. So I'm curious how that factors into it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the whole what's behind that name, and then we're gonna even get into some Metallo talk, Hunter. So don't worry about it. We got you. But the Guy Gardner one is also interesting, saying he gets his power from the glowing green ring on his finger. With the ring, he can project energy and create anything he imagines, which we already know. He's a part of a team of metahumans committed to fighting crime and protecting the citizens of Metropolis from danger. Guy wants to name the new team he is in the Justice Gang, but has not yet convinced his fellow team members. So we knew from a report before that the Guy Gardner is responsible for the name, but I guess we now know it's kind of like the Thunderbolt situation.
Now.
It's like, we are the Thunderbolts, and they're like, we can't call ourselves that. I guess maybe we are the Justice Gang. We can't call ourselves that. It's the same situation, I feel like. What do you think?
I will say that's very like Guy, and I do like that. But I think it would have been funnier if like they changed their name, like with like how they made it more like a corporation thing, because I feel like that would be a good satirical edge to have. Yeah. Where it's like, all right, guys, now with the stockholders, and we're now our demographic is shifted from this age group to this age group, and now we're calling ourselves the Justice Gang. It's like, but we were just called the Seven Soldiers of Victory like last week. Why we're changing it again? It's like, I feel like that would be a fun thing. That would have been a fun thing, but I still like this because it's very much like something Guy Gardner would do.
Yeah, guys, hit that like button like Antonio's telling y'all to. Really appreciate that. Enterprising saying, I do think the hair could have been more red the more I see it. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe he'll lose a bet and then they'll go color his hair red. So we'll see. But the Hawk Girl one is pretty listless because it just kind of tells you what you see there. Like, oh, she has a mace, and a custom helmet. She fights supervillains and rescues civilians in need. Cool. That's about it. The pose is good. The pose is pretty inventive. So I'll give it that. Then we get the three of them together, make up the Justice Gang, even though the name is still to be confirmed. These heroes know that working as a team makes them a greater force for good than working independently. So yeah, the owner of Holt Industries combined with the Lantern and Hawkgirl. So we got these character descriptions, also including Lois Lane. She's a reporter at the Daily Planet, always the ambitious professional. She wasn't happy to suddenly have fresh-faced Clark under her wing. So I guess Clark gets assigned to her, which is very similar to what we have seen in the Christopher Reeve Superman and even in Man of Steel at the end of that movie.
Superman and Lois as well. Yeah, I mean, it seems like an ongoing thing.
An ongoing thing. So as they take on the case of the mysterious metal robot wreaking havoc in Metropolis, okay, so maybe that's a reference to the Hammer of Baravia. Lois begins to warm up to her new coworker. So, all right, well, there we go. So it looks like, yeah, they're pretty early in their relationship, Clark Kent and Lois Lane. And then also, I guess the first thing they're working on is the metal robot, which I can only imagine they're referencing the Hammer of Baravia, I suppose. So we'll talk about that later. Then we of course have Jimmy Olsen. He's a photographer for the Daily Planet, working alongside Lois and Clark to get the perfect shot. He's a huge fan of Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and Superman. Well, I'm sure he's gonna get to meet them all in the movie, which will be fun. And the Jimmy Olsen we're getting in this movie looks very, very fun. Yeah, enterprising and swag fan. She very much looks like your classic Lois Lane. Richard Brosnahan. But moving on to the next one, Luthor Corp. We got a logo here, and then of course you got Lex Luthor in the flesh, as it were. But he's also got the logo on his mug. Of course he does. He is the head of Metropolis's powerful tech company, Luthor Corp. He runs a tight ship, but while most of his underlings don't always respect him, they know not to mess with Luthor's diabolical plans. One of which includes inserting a dead assassin's brain into the metal body of a weaponized robot. Oh, okay. Luthor's supervillain antics were largely undisturbed until a certain Superman came to town. John, I'm starting to think they're not talking about the Hammer of Baravia. Are they talking about Ultraman? Is that the character? Is that meant to be like a weaponized?
Well, I mean,
robot?
Hunter Iggy thinks it's maybe Metallo because that's one of. I mean, it kind of changes on what Metallo is. But like sometimes he is just the brain and he's in a robot body. That's I think what it was in the animated series. And then but sometimes he's like kind of like half man, half cyborg, kind of like cyborg
like
or
half man,
cyborg
half
Superman,
amazing.
where he's like a little bit of both. Sometimes he just like has a kryptonite heart, but he's like totally human for the rest of it. So it kind of just depends. But it just kind of depends on what it is. But I could see that being the case.
Yeah. And yeah, Jimmy Olsen won't immediately get killed in the film. Okay, fair enough. That's a good point. But yeah, no, Metallo could be it. It could be Ultraman, could be Metallo, Amazo, maybe even Enterprising suggesting. Caleb also looking at the Metallo theory. That is definitely the most interesting description so far because that gives us some new information we weren't aware of before. But let's keep going here because I feel like we have a couple other things. So in Superman Welcome to Metropolis book, it confirms that Clark wears his suit under his clothes. So that is very much true. I mean, I guess that poster, the two set of posters they did was quite literal. So I hope he's always wearing a collar shirt because otherwise, how do you hide the collar on that suit, Jude? Like, how does that work, John? Because also, where do you hide the cape? Do you put that in your ring or
That's
whatever? I don't know.
Kind of the suspension of disbelief with he just always wears a jacket so like he can hide the like lump of cloth like behind him.
It's a magic. It's Doctor Strange.
It probably gets hot too. Like the thing is, this is the type of shit you don't really think about because you shouldn't think about it because it's like the whole like we just see him with the cool like you open up the shirt and bam, like we just see the awesome logo and boom, there we go.
I also like that they haven't given that away yet. They haven't shown us. I'm sure there's a shirt rip moment at some point in the movie, but they definitely haven't shown it to us. A nano suit, I don't know. Maybe the engineer when she turns good, if she turns good, maybe she can help him out with that. Superman doesn't get hot or cold, says Frankie, so correcting us on that. I guess it's a comic movie. Not everything needs a deconstruction. Well, Caleb,
Exactly.
I don't
It's
know,
suspension
man.
of disbelief. That's the whole thing.
As a Zack Snyder fan, I'm just kidding. So a phone booth, yeah, we've been speculating about that for the longest time. I don't know if we're gonna get that or not. But John, this here is potentially a reference to Metallo.
There you go.
I'm not gonna read the whole thing here, but just this part here. Keep distracting him, Lois, says Jimmy. I want to get a good shot of Metallo at City Hall in the background. So I don't know if this book is entirely canon, but apparently they mentioned Metallo. So do you think this is taking place before the events of the film, or is it
I would
just sort of-
imagine so.
yeah, that's kind
But
of cool.
I would
Don't you
love
mean
to,
you own
like-
the city, Tin Man? Oh, okay, I see what they're doing there. Yeah, interesting. Swag fan saying, I don't have to know how to gets in the suit, just give me the shirt rip and I'm good. Yeah, that's fair. Or maybe they do the whole phone booth thing like Caleb was talking about. But dude, okay, so we got a Metallo reference. But then also the Hammer of Baravia or Metallo. I mean, this is the same thing from before. I mean, I guess it could be Metallo or Hammer of Baravia. We were just talking about that, so that's interesting. Let's keep going here. Yeah, the whole Justice Gang situation. Of course, Guy Gardner thought Justice Gang is a cool name.
I hope we kind of get that. It's like that moment of like fucking Guy Gardner getting one punched.
Who's gonna do
maybe,
that?
obviously
Also,
not by. It wouldn't be by Batman. It would be like by maybe like Hawkgirl. That would be funny.
That would be funny. But I know that James Gunn has mentioned this like almost from even back when they were filming the movie. Superman does sometimes work with them, so he's, I guess, while they are a proper team, Superman only partners with them on occasion when I guess their interests align.
Obviously.
So I'm like you said, this might just be like a proto Justice League situation where we add a few more ingredients in, and then all of a sudden you have a full team. So yeah, I mean, but do you think Guy Gardner is the leader of the team, or do you think this is one of those like when they get into a fight, like do you think we're gonna see a situation where like I'm the leader? No, I'm the one calling the shots. No, I'm the one like I'm just doing my thing. Like, are they gonna be able to work together? Do you think there's a leader of the team? Do you think Guy Gardner thinks he's the leader of the team?
I don't know. I think it would be like butting heads with like Mr. Terrific and Guy Gardner, and then Hawkgirl's just like, I really don't fucking care.
Maybe that's why Superman needs to be there, because then I guess when Superman is in the fold, then he is firmly the leader. But remember, we saw the in the behind the scenes photo and even the video from when they were filming in Cincinnati, like Guy Gardner walks out front like, "Thank you, you're welcome, we saved everybody," and Superman's all the way in the back, and nobody's paying attention to Guy Gardner. They all run right past him to Superman, and maybe we were like thinking how maybe Guy Gardner was like, thank you. We take Venmo, PayPal, Groupon, anything you guys want. We'll take payment through all and any and all the Square app. Just Terrific could lead the team considering he's the only one there who actually owns his own company. I guess that makes sense. I didn't realize that they were gonna give him the whole corporation in the movie, so that looks interesting. Metamorpho has the power to transform his body into any element. All right, even some that can harm Superman. We saw that in the trailer. Kryptonite. There's a kaiju and a baby kaiju. Okay.
I mean, that was like one of the big
this is
things.
the same creature.
The McFarlane toys. That was like the first thing that the baby kaiju. That was the first thing that was like announced.
But it's the same creature that's gonna grow as the fight goes on. He's gonna grow from being a tiny creature to. So they're showing it separately here, but it looks like according to the McFarlane toy description, it's the same exact creature. He just grows like Doomsday, I guess, in a way. The engineer armed with the millions of tiny robots called nanites, the metahuman known as the engineer, can assume control over all kinds of technology. Okay, we know about that. Hammer of Baravia, the source of his powers remain a mystery, but the Hammer of Baravia is a villain who is as strong as Superman. We know in the movie he's got the heat vision, and he's basically kicking Superman's butt while he can also obviously fly. I wonder if, like we talked about earlier, maybe Ultraman turns into a Hammer of Baravia or the other way around. So maybe that is a clone. Oh yeah, baby Joey. I'll find him eventually, and John will make me take him off the screen. Don't worry, Caleb, we'll get there. But yeah, again, confirming that this is not the official name, the Justice Gang. So I guess we'll find out if they do ever get an official name. I wonder if Maxwell Lord signed off on that name, But hey, John, we talked about how yesterday AMC is going to be playing more ads alongside trailers before the movies, and how that's a really shitty move. But hey, on the bright side, AMC Theater movie employees will reportedly receive brand new Superman theme uniforms to wear to work around the time that the movie comes out.
Hell yeah.
Does that soften the blow for when you're sitting there watching half an hour of trailers and movies before or trailers and commercials?
I mean,
before the movie
no, but
starts?
like, good for them.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody works there, I bet like that would be something that you can keep, and it'll be a nice little like what would you call it, like a little token or something, keepsake from your experience. I worked at an AMC when Superman came out before the DCU became the biggest cinematic universe in all of cinema history. Anyway, I still have my Man of Steel poster from when I went to see that in its early screening. Well, who mentioned it earlier? I think it was Hosea mentioned about the rating, or we'll get to the runtime in a second. But John, we do have the official rating for the movie now. It's rated PG-13 for violence, action, and language. So it's went to the MPA and it got its rating. Are you surprised that it's got a PG-13 rating? All those notes there. To me, this is about on par with what we expected.
Yeah, pretty much what we usually get. PG-13. Boom. There. I mean, I said that the other day. I mean, during that toy commercial, they said that the rating was PG-13. So that this just confirms
maybe that gave it away. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Good rating. I mean, this is exactly what you want, because you want it to be a 4-quadrant movie. So PG-13 is exactly where you'd want it to land. And DC, the majority of their movies have been that, like minus the Joker movies. I don't think DC is done. Have they done any other R-rated movies? I don't think so, right? I might be wrong. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like everything in the DCEU was also PG-13. Even the Batman was PG-13. So not surprised there. But hey, we have a rating. It's official, PG-13, before the movie tickets go on sale. But speaking of movie tickets going on sale, I mean, we know the Fantastic Four, which comes out 2 weeks after Superman, put its tickets on sale today. So we can only imagine that Superman tickets will be going on sale soon. So people are speculating, because according to a British distribution website, we might be getting a new trailer for the movie soon, because the note here, the runtime, 2 minutes, 25 seconds, which I checked the trailer that came out a few weeks ago, John, and it was 3 minutes and 2 seconds. So would you be surprised to see that they do like a final trailer, and then at the end of it, it says tickets on sale now? And then they speculate here that might happen on June 12th, which would be literally a month, or literally a 29, 30 days before the movie comes out. And that's around the time that they start their press tour as well. So, I mean, what do you think? June 12th, we get the ticket announcement, and then do you think that's going to be accompanied by like a final trailer?
I mean, that's what the Fantastic Four did, so that wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Steven, there you go. That's the question.
I think we might get a final trailer. Like, I think we might get like a teaser of like tickets are now on sale, but like it's mostly stuff we've seen before. I think we'll get like a final trailer maybe late June if we don't get it on the 12th.
Right. Okay. By the way, people are correcting me. Peacemaker was rated R. Fair enough. BVS Ultimate Edition, was that rated? I don't remember that being rated R. But okay, I'll go with what you're saying. But yeah, Peacemaker's not a movie though. So rated, it's you don't get.
It would be TV R, mature.
TV mature, exactly. TVM. So that's not the same thing. I mean, it's theoretically the equivalent, but not the same thing. Do we need another trailer? I don't want anything spoiled for me. That's a good point by Caleb, John. Do you think we need?
I mean, we're already getting like we already got so much information from these books that it's like
I feel like we know a lot already. Because also for Fantastic Four, as a comparison, they didn't do a full new trailer announcing the tickets going on sale. They just gave us like a little, like I guess a bit of a teaser, and then at the end it says tickets on sale. So I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. But then again, with regards to the rated R situation, yes, Caleb, thank you. The Suicide Squad was rated R, so that's a fair point. But again, still the minority of the movies. I'm glad Superman is not rated R. Hosea saying trailer 3 needs to hit, show Superman being super. I feel like the first 2 trailers have already done that. So I mean, John, I would put you the question to you. Do we even need, like some of you guys in the chat are asking, do we even need a final trailer? Like, is there any point in at this point doing another trailer? Like, are we just, like you said, good with all the other pieces of information and marketing that we've already been getting?
I think so, but like maybe like again, Summer of Superman, they really want to push this, so it'll really push it. I mean, Christian Krog says there's a teaser trailer, a story-driven full trailer, and then a final trailer that focuses more on action. That could definitely be the case. Um, but I can see them doing it. We don't really need one, but I could definitely see them doing it.
Yeah. Some of you guys saying you're not even going to watch it if there is one. Ron says it's just a matter of practice. He doesn't watch the final trailer for a movie. Figure Drawing saying facts. A new trailer is needed. At least some short spot of Superman doing something cool. Yes, need. No spoilers. Obviously, more hype can't hurt. Yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, if they do a 30-second thing to hype it up and be like this final push, go see the movie tickets out or get the tickets now, that's fine with me. I just don't think we need like a full ass trailer. But I'm just saying this poster speculates 2 minutes 25 seconds. That feels like a full trailer. So we'll just have to wait and see though if that ends up being true or not. But Steven was asking an interesting question, John. So let's kind of address that before we move on to the runtime. Do you think they'll have a post-credit scene in the movie? Is that how we get to the Supergirl cameo? Do you think? Because we know it looks like it's HBO Max leaked it. Millie Alcock is going to be in the movie. Do you think that's going to be the post-credit sequence? Is there going to be a post-credit sequence at all?
I mean, if there is one, that would be it, I think. But I don't I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to do post-credit scenes because yeah, that was kind of the Marvel thing. Yeah, other people kind of took that on and like it became that, but it was and I know post-credit scenes happened before Marvel movies, but Marvel movies really made that their
They
thing.
changed the trend. It's
Maybe
completely
they want to like shy away from
yeah.
that.
Yep. Absolutely. Thank you, Johnny, for the comment. That's awesome, man. And good to see you in the chat. Hit the like button while you're here. Hit subscribe if you're new. We're doing this 5 days a week. So welcome on in, Johnny. But no, I agree with you, John. I think the post-credit sequence, for me, Supergirl is a perfect place. That's a perfect place to introduce her. They could also just look forward to the next movie. The rumor of Brainiac potentially, that might be what they do there. Or if they didn't have a post-credit scene, I'm totally okay with that too. Let's Marvel created the whole trend or really just took it to another level. It doesn't mean DC has to follow suit, but given that James Gunn always had like a post-credit scene in all his Guardians movies, I'd imagine he might, do that here. I don't know if they're going to introduce a Bruce Wayne, Hosea, in the post-credit sequence, but I wouldn't put it past them because they can always cast him and shoot that thing or that sequence right before the movie comes out. Like Marvel does it all the time, so that wouldn't surprise us at all. Johnny Rika, good Starship Troopers reference. Absolutely, that is good reference there on the name. Set up for Legion of Doom. I know we had a Legion of Doom set up at the end of the theatrical Justice League, which never went anywhere. So there's some precedence for that. Figure Drawing saying, chat, did they mention the new Marvel fighting game from today? No, we did not, Figure Drawing. We did not mention that. We
didn't mention the James Bond video game either, so
yeah.
But that looks really good.
We only have so much time on the show.
Yeah.
But I will take a note. I'm literally typing it out right now. And we will bring that in the show tomorrow. But yeah, we're just talking DC right now. Ron saying I need Legion of Doom. I hope so. Please give me Legion of Doom. Yeah. You saw the trailer for the
it would be really funny because there is a group in the comics called the Injustice Gang. It would be funny if they came out and instead of like what's this the like people have been like saying like shooting out names like this evil like this Legion of Doom and then they're like no we're the Injustice Gang and then Guy Gardner is like see they think it's cool. That would be awesome.
That would be hilarious. That feels like so they'll do like a mid-credit scene and then that would be like the post-credits tag. Like that's the last thing you see before you walk out of theaters. Because it's not meant to be something serious, but it's just like you finally pay off the joke from the movie. That would be awesome. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, well let's get to the runtime announcement. So Of course, this is not official from James Gunn, but I mean, Hosea asked about it earlier, so let's talk about it now. The AMC Theaters listing was recently updated to reflect 2 hours 9 minutes. I believe their default was like 2 hours 10 minutes, which is what they list on every movie. So we were speculating that might be it, or there's a 2 hours 2 minutes. I think it was, but they changed it. So now Superman says 2 hours 9 minutes. John, if you remember, we were talking about how James Gunn might have the picture lock and everything done on post production by the end of this week. So it would track that maybe they got there a little bit sooner, a couple of days early, and maybe 2 hours 9 minutes is it. Do you believe this? Do you think this is still speculative by AMC Theaters, or do you think this is the actual runtime now of the movie?
I don't know. I still don't 100% believe it because, like James Gunn said, he's like finishing it up and he's gonna deliver it soon. So I don't totally believe this. But here's the thing: I'm gonna expect like a movie that's like 2 hours and something minutes. Like I expect it. It's not gonna be longer than 2.5 hours. It's not gonna be less than like 100 minutes. It's gonna be at least 2 hours because they're introducing a lot of stuff and all that. So I think it's going to be like 2 hours to like 2 hours and 20 minutes within that range. I don't think it's going to be longer than like 2 hours and 20 minutes. It would just be a little bit too long, and they want to keep it as short as they can without sacrificing too much because kids are watching it and they short attention spans and all that. I mean, I hate to sound mean, but like that's kind of the case. Kids like, it's too long. Let's move this along. So as long as it's a good movie, that shouldn't be a problem. But that's also like something to be aware of, So
Yeah, that's fair. Same runtime as Deadpool 3. All right, Caleb.
Gross.
Jalen saying actually James did confirm it. Did he? I didn't find anything. Jalen, let us know where he confirmed it. I don't think I've seen it. James gonna address this yet online, but maybe I missed it. Let me know. Ron saying I agree with Nico and Rachel's comment on Twitter. Who cares if James Gunn is not giving us Batman Beyond and Michael Keaton? We don't want it. Dude, no. I want a Batman Beyond movie. Get out of here. I want a Batman Beyond.
I would, not with Michael Keaton, but I would like to see
well,
it.
no, but he's the closest one to, but like then people will always think it's tied to his continuity. So that's maybe the limiting factor. Anyway, it's fine. I'm neither here nor there. But like Hosea saying, the movie's runtime is great. It's not 4 hours, not 3 hours. It's perfect. I mean, 2 hours 9 minutes is kind of perfect in the sense that it's from a marketing standpoint right in the middle there. And then overall, you look at it like it's not going to be a 2.5, 3 hour long movie like the Batman or like BVS was, or even Man of Steel was on the longer side. So 2 hours 9 minutes. I mean, again, the pacing of the movie will depend on the quality of the film. A 2 hour 9 minutes
just
film
confirmed it 2 hours ago.
So,
he
did.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did.
Where did you find that?
I found it on Threads. Thank you for that.
Well, send me the link, John, because I was looking on Threads a minute ago and I couldn't see it. So I don't know. Maybe I missed it somewhere.
There you go.
All right. Jose is saying anything under 2 hours, I would have been alarmed. Yeah, you know what? For the amount of characters in there, you'd wonder. Martha. Yeah, 3 hours. That movie was 3 hours. Jalen saying on Threads again. Okay, so John, you sent me the link. Let's pull it up, shall we? Let's get that confirmation in. Here we go. So yeah, yes, inclusive of credits, post credits, the runtime is 2 hours and 9 minutes. All right, so no more speculation. James Gunn says that AMC listing is official. 2 hours and 9 minutes is how long Superman is going to run. So yeah, it looks like they must be done. So John, this means that we have picture lock on the movie, and James Gunn is just about done with post production on Superman, and we're still, like Man of Steel, Magnolia's mentioned earlier, we're 37 days away, and by this Friday we'll be 35.
Nico makes a good point. He says credits and post credits, which means this does confirm that we are getting a post credit scene.
Okay, all right, Steven.
Okay,
well, now the answer.
Okay.
The answer to your question is it looks like we're getting a post credit sequence, at least one, if not maybe multiple. So that is awesome.
Fuck me then. All right, never mind. We are doing post credits. We're doing the same thing. All right, cool. Either Brainiac or Super. It's probably gonna be Supergirl. It's most likely gonna be Supergirl, and yeah.
Yep. I mean, Brainiac, Supergirl. I most like you said, most likely Supergirl. I bet you he's gonna probably, yeah. Now I'm really thinking they're gonna do that whole Guy Gardner thing. Maybe not exactly what you said. Maybe. I mean, if you're on the mark with that, I'll give you that bonus to go buy every version of the Galactus popcorn bucket. But anyway,
I don't know. Well, here's the thing. I don't
it's
think like only if they introduce the Legion of Doom. But like, I mean, the Injustice Gang was like it was from the 70s. They didn't last very long. Like they had 2 iterations that only lasted for
yeah.
like a couple years and then they kind of died off. But yeah, they're like it would be awesome if in a Legion of Doom, like when they introduce that, it won't be in this movie, but it would be awesome eventually. And then they're like, we're called the Injustice Gang, and he's like, guys, it was right
It
there.
was right there. It was. I told you it was awesome. Yeah. Shaka Steel. That could. I mean, we talked about that the other day. That'd be a killer post credit tease. I don't know if Steel is like copyrighted or trademarked outside of Warner Brothers as a character, but that'd be nice. Yeah, I mean, hey, we should probably do a whole tier list on Tuesday about like post credit sequences. Let's rank the possibilities.
Jesus.
Supergirl is probably the most likely one. I think, in fact, Ron might be on point here. Supergirl playing with Crypto. I can easily see the post credit sequence being Superman gets back to the Fortress of Solitude and sees Supergirl like sitting on the steps, playing with Crypto. And she says, "Hi, I'm back," or like, "I'm about to head out," or something, depending on again where Supergirl falls in the timeline with Superman, the 2 movies. But that could be great that you see that all 3 of those characters in Fortress of Solitude, and she could be like, "Thank you for taking care of him," or like, look after Crypto while I'm away, something like that. It would be crazy. That would be nice. Superman going on the Joe Rogan yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that. But Peacemaker watching Superman on TV and making fun of him, that would be fun. And you know what, that would be perfect, because then that would lead directly into the TV show that releases like only a few weeks after Superman. So yeah, that could be a good idea. Jalen asking, would you save Doomsday for a 3rd Superman movie? At least. I also think they don't need to get anywhere near Doomsday for a while, because they did it in Batman v Superman, they did it in Superman and Lois. Let that character rest. There's so many other ones like Mr. Spitlick. You got Brainiac. You can go, obviously you can pit Lobo against Superman. There's so many other options. So Chris saying he confirmed the post-credit sequence months ago. Did he? What did he say? Film Threat said it's confirmed to be Brainiac. I don't take that source for no. I don't believe Film Threat saying that's confirmed. Until James Gunn says it himself, I won't believe it. But I mean, hey, I'm sure theories are flying around everywhere. So doesn't matter. They spoke to people who've seen it. Okay, well, if you believe that, I mean, that's up to you, Chris. That's up to you. Jalen saying, and who would you have as a second main villain for Superman 2 if you get there? Second main villain? I mean, who's the first main villain? That's the question. I mean, Brainiac is not confirmed. I presume you mean Brainiac, and then who's the second one behind him?
Like a small, like do like a smaller villain. Nothing crazy.
Well, Swag fan saying he agrees with us that Supergirl would probably be the post-credit sequence. Yeah. Did he confirm that there were mutant monkeys in it? I don't think he did. That's never been... John, I don't think that's ever been confirmed.
No, that was just a rumor.
Yeah, like Chris is now just spreading false rumors at this point.
We found Jeff Snyder, guys. He's in our chat, and his name is Chris.
By the way, Ron's saying maybe a secondary villain in the next Superman movie could be Mongol. Could be. That would be a good
I don't think he should be a secondary villain. I think he should be a main villain.
Yeah. Peacemaker. He's that alien into that weird German stuff. Okay. Mr. Schmidtlick. Miss Spitlick. Yeah, that's hard to say. Or Martian Manhunter coming to collect his... Well, no, Baby Joey is the son of... In the descriptions, they mention he's the son of a Metamorpho. So not Martian Manhunter. So, yeah, Ron, just clarifying that. Superman War World for a 3rd movie would be very cool. That's still maybe a bit too early. But I don't know. Let's just worry about this one for now. I feel like Steven saying, Dan, has John ordered any merch from Superman or Funko Pops? John ordered some stuff yesterday, and of course, months ago. He's
I
he's
have
on it.
this. I have 4 shirts.
Yep.
And I got something from my dog. Got the scarf.
Yep. Toyman. I don't know if they want to do Toyman in a movie. Gorilla Grodd. No, isn't that a Flash villain though?
Yeah.
mm,
I mean, Gorilla Grodd was in he was in Creature Commandos in sort of like a apocalyptic flash forward, and then
Yeah.
he was also in like a newspaper in like the background.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Ron's comment. Yeah, washing his
That would be
trunks in the
funny.
laundry. Yeah. Hashtag believe in the bulge. You know, it's there you go. Yep. But hey, we've got an official runtime confirmed by James Gunn himself, so that's great. That's progress. The post-credit scenes will be Matt Reeves finally giving the Batman Part 2 script to James Gunn. Caleb, you know what? That would be amazing. That's the one that I want. Lock it in right now. That's my choice for the post-credit sequence. I want proof that Matt Reeves actually gave James Gunn the script. Go film that shit. Do it with multiple cameras. Give me a close-up on the script. I want to see it. The Batman 2 by Matt Reeves in James Gunn's hand.
And and he's like, all right, finally. And then he opens it up and it's just Matt Reeves going this.
And then he looks up and the door is swinging because Matt Reeves has already left the building. It's like, yeah.
Damn, so that's what that feels like.
Yeah, I see. Okay, good callback. That's what it feels like. Yeah. Anyway. Show the Guy Gardner bowl cut spot that dropped today in the Robot 4 spot. Oh, we will get to that tomorrow. I think we've already got way too much on the show today. We still have one other thing. Is it? Oh, you know what? I think you might be talking about exactly that. Is that what you're talking about? Let's see. You're talking about this featurette? Because this did have Robot number 4 and Guy Gardner in it. Okay, I think that's what you're talking about. Well, there you go, Jose. This is the last thing on the show today. Robot number 4 in action. They actually built the thing for real, and you can see how like David Cornsweet is like, oh my god, this is
hey, there he is.
Yeah, yep. Is Guy Gardner in this? I thought Guy Gardner wasn't. Is he in there somewhere? Maybe he is. Well, there you go. That's the spot. It's kind of crazy. It is. Cause remember when we first saw the behind the scenes featurette a few weeks ago? We were like, "Holy shit! Like that thing is real." They built it, and it's got quite a bit of motion to it. I don't know if it walks, but from the hip up, it does all the motion. So, that's awesome. Robot number 4 is awesome. I mean, he's gonna die, but he's awesome until he does. But what about the bowl cut? I didn't see a bowl cut one. I don't know, Jose. Was that a separate one? Or was this all together? Because I don't think we have Guy Gardner in this. So yeah. But hey, I hope you get behind the scenes and with all the cast. Yeah, for your Blu-ray specials and stuff. There is another one with the Guy. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I can find that. Is that also on Superman's account? Now they're just like putting up so much shit I can't even keep track of it all. There we go. Oh, found it. Boom.
Yeah, it was him getting his cut. His bowl cut.
That is awesome.
They gave him like a full wig and then he cut it himself. I did see this one, yes.
That is hilarious. I'm seeing this for the first time with you guys right now. That's perfect. Much better shape than last time. He looks like a monk, doesn't he? Into the Fray. That's from the other one, but yeah. I mean, robot number 4 might come back. They might be able to rebuild all these robots. Not only 4. It looks like in that sequence where Lex and Engineer show up, they wipe out all the robots in one go. So, but this is fun. This is awesome. I mean, now they're posting like 5 of these a day. Look at this. They posted that one. They posted this one. They posted all the posters today. And apparently, they also posted something with Shaq, Chuck, and Kenny. Can one of the inside dogs be the next Crypto? This is fun. Oh, they did the same thing like they did with the NHL guys. They went in and and their sidekicks.
This I
for
care about
auditioning.
because it's dogs, but like,
Yeah, this is cute. I love these guys. Oh, I love Inside the NBA. It's so awesome. This is great. Is that a Dalmatian? Oh, okay. It's him. Oh man, Lois roasting me is hilarious. Yeah.
what
James
the what?
Gunn will keep Gardner alive to recreate the Batman scene. I don't know. I think Guy Gardner's not long for this world. But like Ron was saying, by the time we get to the Lantern show, this is fun. I love this. I love all of this. This is great. I mean, I feel like I'm sorry. This is great. But this is kind of bittersweet because obviously the Inside the NBA crew no longer. Well, they're still around, but they won't be on TNT anymore. So, but hey, still marketing Superman. This is great. I love it. I don't know, John. Do you agree with Jalen? Is this also marketing? Indeed.
Oh yeah, it's great. Love it.
Don't say that, Dan. Tom King might hear that and kill the fun. Okay. Well, Caleb, it's already been said. It's out there in the world now. It's out there in the ether, as it were. So while you guys are at it, hit the freeze breath of that like button, or just hit that like button, like Antonio and Man of Steel Magnolias are saying. That is more than what we planned for, in fact, John. But I gotta imagine that's it. Yep, I'm out of ideas. That's all we got. But we're gonna answer Enterprising's question. Or not, it's not a question. He says, who would have thought this film would feel so much like an animal lovers movie? You gotta know James Gunn. James Gunn has what, like 3 dogs and 5 cats? I mean, the man loves animals. Like, so
Yeah.
he's putting that in.
I don't think they will. I don't think
So,
they will.
Yeah. You know, I'm still on the fence. It would be just funny if they did, but anyway. Guys, that's all. We got the runtime, 2 hours 9 minutes. James Gunn confirmed. He
Almost
said,
as it's long. It's not as long
It's-
as this fucking live
it's-
stream. So there is that.
Hey, this show. Imagine this. You can watch this show, or you can go watch Superman. It's got basically the same runtime. That is crazy. We didn't even plan that, but that's how it worked out today. So, guys, with that, we're gonna bid you adieu for the day. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out, and hit subscribe if you're new, because like I mentioned earlier, we do this 5 days a week. So we'll be back tomorrow, and then we'll be back the day after that on Friday. Bridget will be back on Friday on the show. Hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. And as we get more Superman marketing, we're going to be talking all about it, because we're getting this now literally every day, 5,000 things a day. So I'm sure we'll be talking about it as we do. But yeah, hey, enterprising with his dreams save us. And, you know, Ron saying fight for the bulge. Well, we will keep fighting for the bulge. Don't you worry. Hashtag believe in the bulge always. Where's that hashtag? There we go. Put that up for posterity's sake. But John, we'll see you tomorrow. I'm sure there'll be more Superman stuff to talk about. Probably another set of posters and a whole lot of reels. And we'll dig into any other spoiler talk we get into. Now I'm like, what else is left? We got the runtime. We got the posters. I feel like we got everything we need. Popcorn buckets. I feel like, you know what? That's what we're missing. So we'll keep an eye out. But until next time, guys, we'll bring in all the video game news and everything you guys mentioned tomorrow. And we'll see you on the next episode of DCU Daily.